the Facebook page, Pleiadian Angelic Rainbow Orbs, Shandy Clear. We're going to talk a little bit about her medium ability and how long she's noticed that she's had that, and just get her random thoughts on that. Shandy in Waterloo, Iowa, where you're going to be taking me around to see the Napoleon Museum there, right, where he died there in Waterloo, and where
Oh,
ABBA got the
sure.
influence. Yeah, got the inspiration to write that
What do you
wonderful
say?
song.
Where all things go to be enlightened, or whatever you say?
Yeah, it's just saying enlightenment, where everything goes in the cosmos to reach that beacon of enlightenment.
Yeah,
I'm
you
having some.
you you said that last year and it's stuck. It's so fucking funny because
Oh,
it's
well,
quite
true,
the
it's true. Yeah,
opposite.
I mean,
We
you
only
guys
have the
might.
John Deere Museum here.
Well, Arkansas and Oklahoma might be close into the enlightenment level, but I think that yeah, you guys are getting there. So anyway,
As many cornfields as we have, I'm surprised.
oh, probably will, but and tinfoil hats too. But the medium thing, right? Okay, talk about it a little bit. I mean, I think people get the idea when I've talked to them about mediumship that aren't in the Starseed community per se. They think of that TV show from CBS, right? The Medium, where that is it kind of like that?
Caputo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Her name, yeah, well, yeah, her. That show was
Yeah,
kind of
right. I
campy,
think
but
that. Okay. So
what?
I
Yeah, is it like that
I
or what?
awakened. I
Is
awakened
it
in
like
'04
that?
and I learned what?
Is it like? Go ahead, but is it like that? This is just all I was wondering.
No, no. Okay, this is what it is. I started learning arcane knowledge and esoteric knowledge and learning how to do, witch shit from '04, from 2004, learning how to perfect my, tarot and all that jazz that goes along with it. And I didn't like want to fuck with mediumship was not in my wheelhouse. I was like more of like oracle cards and things like that, and
Mhm.
doing like birth charts and numerology and astrological analysis, blah blah blah. Well, the first time I ever like thought something was weird, I was at my son's girlfriend's grandma's house, and I'm sitting there, taking a shit, and I look at the bathtub and the razors on the bathtub, and my son's girlfriend's dad had got shot a couple years past. And I went down and I said, Sam, which is her mom, I said, Sam, Donald said don't leave the razors on the tub anymore. It just came to me. She started crying and she was like, oh my God, oh my God. And then that was that. Well, then a couple months later, I had got prescribed a medicine called Halidol, and I had a fucking I tripped out and I was hallucinating, and there was bugs and there was coming out and there were spiders everywhere. So my baby daddy called 911 and they have no beds, so they sent me to this fucking inpatient psych ward about 2 hours away.
Uh-huh.
Mind you, the next day the Halidol wore off and I'm over here trying to get out. But I was in there with some weird ass bitches, and I'm looking out the window and this little girl, she looks at me and somebody's doing their garden, and I looked at her, I said, you and your grandpa used to grow pumpkins in the garden, didn't you? And she looked at me and she was like, yeah. And then I just went on and told her about her grandpa and things like that. And so that was in 2016. I didn't really
Uh-huh.
want to focus on like, okay, so I guess I have abilities, I have this, and I know I've always been in communication with angels, and I do automatic writing. I was been in communication with, like when I do my runes, I contact, the Nordic gods. So I perfected channeling in that sense. But I've always only channeled outer worldly, like etheric beings, not like your Grandma Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
then in 2020, my girl, I call her Carol fucking Baskin, she wanted me to work for her One Love Spiritual Services. And there was a girl, Anne Marie, who's an older lady. She would tell me about it, and so then I would just kind of practice with her, and I would practice on the Facebook lives or in these groups, just little by little, and I would use cards to do it, tarot cards, which is dumb. Like I don't now, but I would use assistants like different cards, fairy card, just to because I was still learning. Well, then Anne Marie said, "Well, why don't we do a mediumship with me?" Because she's like one of the best. And I did, and I channeled her dad, and that was my like test to see if I could do it for money. She's like, you passed, my dad was here, that I can't believe it, da 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 da. So then I started doing direct channeling mediumships over the phone, like with random clients, like just strangers. And they wouldn't I only when I first started, it was summer 2020, And it was just little by little, I would be like, all right, I'm going to go live in my group and I'm offering, if anybody, da 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 da. And so that was like my kind of like practice. And then I started charging a little bit more, and then I would do one-on-ones. Um, and it got to the point where I people were paying me, and it was part of my services per se. But it wasn't as often as like a tarot card reading people would hit me up for. Well, then I got a little confident in it. What I've realized since then, I've done over about 100 to 150, and about 10 to 20 of them are people I know. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I've realized that I'm not one of those mediums that, like, I don't believe that you can go live on Facebook and do, like, if you're going live and there's 50 people joining, it's that's stupid. Don't know. Do I sense this? He begins with a letter C. Oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
choking. Did he die of asphyxiation? No, I have to know the name of the
Oh,
person.
John
I have to
Edwards
know
Smith
their
said, yeah,
birthday.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
I have to know their death day. I have to know all the deets, and then I have to
Mm-hmm.
petition to Archangel Michael to see if that person is available, because they
Yeah,
could be reincarnated, they could be still in the scanning room, they could be fucking busy doing whatever, and I have to a couple times I'm like, I can't, it's not time yet. So what I do, and if
right.
they connect with me, and what I've learned is I don't get Grandma Jones coming to me. 90% of the mediums, they choose me. There are suicides, there are overdoses, there are there's shootings, there are younger guys, younger
Okay.
people, because they relate to me. And if the numbers connect and if the names connect, and I have to look at the person who they're trying to, like, if they want, like today I did one. I had to call his mom. I didn't even know her. I had to bring her in and see if it was okay for her to join, because he wanted to talk to her. Sometimes my mom used to say phones are portals. I've done only like 3 or 4 in person, but over the phone, it's a direct line, an hour, a little over an hour. What happens is they come to me, and the first few minutes is them telling the person that's alive over the phone shit that they need to know, that they don't fucking know about this
Mm-hmm.
person. Like, you need to know the business. Then they tell them about their life and their business, what they need to know. And then, there's like question and answer, depends on how it goes.
Yeah.
Now, tonight, like, I've had guys leave to go do coke and fuck bitches. I've had some old man go and want to just read the newspaper on the toilet like somebody's uncle. Um,
Wow.
the main thing that that my like, that's a different category than just being an oracle or a witch or a star seed or anything like that, because
Yeah.
with Teresa Caputo and with fucking all the famous people or whatever, they're always like, they just want you to know that they're safe and they're watching over you. Well, no shit, fucking Sherlock. I tell my
Yeah, and then
clients, don't
sometimes
ask
somebody will
stupid
say it, it sounds
questions.
legit. Yeah, I mean, it's all in it's so played out to say that, right, in that situation. And then you can feel when somebody means it. They all mean it to be nice, but then you can tell the energy
But
when
those are
somebody means it from the
givens.
heart. But yeah,
I tell
that's
my
scary.
clients, I've learned, and I tell my clients, because I've wasted time in the mediumship. I've learned
Um,
that do not ask dumbass questions like, "When that quarter fell off the shelf, was it you?" Well, probably, huh?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Or I've solved a couple murders. They don't like to focus on how they died unless it's necessary, and that's when I pull out my
yeah,
my 72 angel Solomon angel cards. Sometimes I'll have to pull them out if
yeah,
there's foul play. Um, they do not care about any grudges or any fucking boys head on, I did this or I didn't do
yeah.
this and
That's
we
what
have
I've
beef.
heard.
They don't give a fuck. They want to tell you about your future and your life, because
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
times they'll be like, "Well, did I didn't dude, they don't care." So that's a disclaimer I tell my clients. I tell them,
Yeah.
"Don't ask dumb questions like, was that you and when I saw the red bird, or are you with grandma, or
Do they
did
really?
did you overdose on purpose?" No drug addict overdoses on purpose. He was a martyr. You don't know how, like,
Did you?
suicides and
You really had that
overdoses,
question? Did you? Oh, did you overdose on purpose?
dude. The
Like
drug
a
addicts know what they're
suicide. Okay,
doing.
then maybe she was trying to ask if he committed suicide, but if it was just strictly about the overdose, then yeah,
Right.
if you were sure that, yeah, that's a pretty stupid question. Put
Even
it
if
that
I've had a guy that hung himself and he was listening
way.
to, different voices. Anybody that dies in that way, suicide or overdose, they are they're exercising. They're not leaving because they're
Yeah.
fucking pussies. It's their fucking exit point. And
I've
what
had
people
two
don't
cousins that
realize,
hung themselves. They were both brothers, 10 years apart. Well, actually, 15 years apart. They hung each other, or not each other. They hung themselves while high on heroin.
and when I was learning
Yeah.
magic back in the day, I always thought that, like, let's say I was taught, like, from some books, I believe that, like, let's say you were supposed to die when you were 80 and you killed yourself when you were 12, that you
Yeah.
will be forced to be like Casper in the dwelling that you killed yourself, like, and you won't be able to like be human, and then you'll get reincarnated and what. No, that's not how it goes. If you commit suicide, I have learned by being a medium, your will to live is stronger than your urge to die. So if you quote unquote kill yourself, it's only because, it's not like you're listening to demons. It's a martyrdom situation. It's a
Or Ozzy
sacrifice.
Osbourne played backwards. That's what they used to, the religious people in my neighborhood in the 80s growing
Yes.
up.
And what they will
Ozzy
do,
Osbourne backwards, that'll
no,
get it. Even the Beatles, if you play the Beatles backwards.
you
Yeah,
will
these
you will
fucking demons.
you will go to the scanning room just like the rest of us, and you'll be able to see and choose. The only people that don't get choices are like the evil bad seeds. Then their punishment is being um what is it,
Do it again,
transmutated
go
into
back, Jack, and do it
bugs
again. Yep, go
or
back, Jack, and do
insects,
it again. Yep.
or you'll get thrown into a uterus without any say on your birth chart. That's the punishment, but not because you killed yourself. Nobody ever kills themselves because they're fucking, they just can't take it. No, you think that, and like life's over. But he was such a happy person. There are reasons that people don't understand, that it's a selfish way to think, like, why did you leave me so soon, why did you do that?
Yeah.
No, it's to teach you lessons, because children choose, that's their exit point. They've lived how many lifetimes before, and that's the way it is, and you can't question it. You just have to trust that that's what it is. And I told the girlfriend, I said, why, she said, why did he leave me, we were supposed to do, no, if you were supposed to,
Yeah.
you
I
would
can
have.
understand where she's coming from, though. You're
I
heartbroken and
know,
you want
and
some
I don't mean to
fucking
be a
answers,
bitch about it, but
you know?
his energy was coming through, and
Yeah.
he was very matter of fact. The answer was very matter of fact answers. He's like, if we were meant to be, we would be. Well, she has since
Hmm.
had a baby and has another man, and like he's a
Hmm.
black dude, but he always wanted to be a white boy, and her man's like white boy and black boy put together, and so like he sent him to her, and the way it is. He's able to, I said he was able to take care of you and his little brothers from up there more than he could down here. He's a seraphim. He has the green wings. I learned, and he comes through in the wind and in music.
Hmm.
And I tell them, and it's a selfish thing. I get it. I know I miss my mom too, and I miss whatever, but it's selfish to be like, you left me. They did not leave you. It is part of their plan. It is
Yeah.
part of their path. And whether you understand it or agree with it, it is not up to you to do that. Nobody ever leaves anybody on purpose out of fucking cowardice. It's
Yeah,
the
not
way
to
it
go,
is.
maybe
It's just
like
the
in
way it
physical
is.
realms, not, yeah,
And you
right.
won't completely understand until you cross over and get it. And as much as I explain it to people, I try to
Yeah.
tell them ahead of time. They did not choose to, abandon you or anything like that.
Yeah, so
Usually,
their wording, I can understand their hurt. Don't get me wrong, I can
oh
understand
yeah.
their hurt, but it's their wording, and they're probably, instead of hurt, they're more pissed, whereas
I said
sensitive
whether
people
they
are they're
die or
good.
they move away or they go to the army, what
Yeah.
coulda, shoulda, woulda have happened didn't. So
Yeah.
whether they're in this realm or not, you cannot hang on to
Well, I could
regrets.
have
You
hit
cannot hang
fucking
on to.
420 for the Dodgers and played shortstop, but I mean, no, I couldn't have. But I mean, yeah, this could have, would have, should have. Right, I get it.
Well, I said you guys were children. He was only 20 when he passed. You guys were babies. So you never know. And like you may have felt like you were supposed to. I said, but even if you went through it and he didn't pass and you weren't together, you can still mourn him. You'd rather mourn him not here. That I know, as fucked up as it sounds, it's better to mourn somebody in the etheric realm than to mourn them on earth where you can't fucking be with them and they're right across the
Why
street.
would you need to, out of curiosity? That's an interesting point. Why would you need to once you were in the etheric realm? Oh, you mean like from here getting into a state of meditation in the etheric realm,
Well,
or?
like
like a
it's
symbol to it.
easier and it's more soothing to mourn somebody that has passed than to mourn,
Right, right.
like, let's say he broke up with you and he's with another bitch down the street. That's worse mourning than mourning a
Oh,
past
yeah, 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 yeah. That gets you really by the
because he's
throat.
still here and there's a chance.
Yeah, yeah.
When somebody comes to, the effect like that, they people that don't understand and people that don't understand the different levels and the different places and how the different realms are, especially
Yeah,
people that are like plagued by fucking Christian dumb shit like
I
you're just
think the
channeling
more,
demons. You're channeling. You know how I took 15
yeah,
years of perfecting the I know when they come in and out. And if there's prophets back then, why can't there be prophets now?
you know what I think? I think too that the more enlightened you are, per se, that when something like that happens to you, the more it's more of a sad emotion versus the more less enlightened you are, the more of an angrier person you are. Like you almost twist it, and make it about you. Whereas I mean,
Yeah,
we
and
can
they
all do that a
use
little bit
me.
while human, but
The spirits use me. That what I've noticed too. They use me. They're like, tell them about your situation so they can relate.
mhm.
And this guy was telling me to do black magic on his brother's baby mama because she's a meth head and this. I said, I'm not fucking doing that, dude. Stop it,
Oh
because
God, yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
spirit was telling. I said, stop. We can't do that. You got to call DHS. I'm not doing none of that, And he was like, yeah, don't be trying to get me in trouble, boy. And but
Or
what
can
they
you make her
don't
fall in
the
love with
past
me
loved
again?
ones,
Some shit. Yeah, yeah,
they don't focus on. It's just in the matter of snippet. Um, Also, what I tell people too, that my biggest feat as a spiritual healer, I did a mediumship for these Mexican girls and sisters, and
mhm.
one of the sisters, they're from Texas, strict fucking Catholic.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
she told her mom about it, her older mom about it, and her
But
mom paid for a mediumship with her deceased husband. And that is my biggest accomplishment, to get a traditional Hispanic Catholic woman to do a mediumship
hardcore,
and like
yeah.
cry and like
And
legit.
from
Like
Texas
I
and
feel
all
like I
that, yeah,
won the
right.
fucking
Her
lottery.
culture, yeah. What? Yeah, that was
I
quite
don't
an
try to get
obstacle.
and I tell people, don't ask me stupid questions to try to prove that it's them. Okay,
Hmm.
don't try to be an innuendo and to be like, what was our song? Da, 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 da. No, because that's not
Fuck
me.
the Police by NWA. No, no,
Yeah,
go ahead.
my shortest mediumship was 15 minutes. This Mexican
Yeah,
girl, she paid for it, and the Vato dude, she was the reason he died. And he's like, look at her, mira, mira. He's like, look at her. She wants you to talk about the dog. I said, all he wants to tell you is if you would have kept your mouth shut, he might still be here. And then he went to the fucking phone and went deuces with his fingers, and he disappeared. And she's, but does he do that? And she's like, yeah. And then she tried to badmouth me, and fucking I blocked her. I'm like,
well, you
bro,
told me
he
about
was
it. We
not
talked about that
playing.
girl. You know, we talked about it. I mean, well, hey, when you go poking around with shit like that, and you think it's just all these the answers that you want, you better understand that anything can come your way because there's all kinds of intricate shit you don't know.
Yes.
But if you
Well, look,
understand that ahead of time and are enlightened
in
enough,
my line of work,
you don't really
it's
care.
word of mouth. It's word of
Yeah,
mouth in my line of work because not 80% of psychics or whatever are fake. Now, whether you botch a tarot card reading, that's completely different than botching a fucking mediumship because you're playing on their fucking
yeah.
sadness. That's different. Now, people that are
I
fake
feel totally.
mediums, they'll stalk their Facebook page and be like, "I see him with you stupid." I said, "I'm not here to prove yes or no. I mean, you can read my fucking reviews, and if you want to pay, pay. I'm not here to tell you
It's more
to make
frequency transcendental and dimensional and consciousness based, and it's like a frequency you're
And
getting.
a
It's,
lot of
you
times
leave a quarter on the fucking table. That's what
their main like on Teresa Caputo, right? When I
yeah.
notice her, I
But
notice
TV
that
show the
she
medium
does
for people who
automatic
don't know.
writing.
Yeah,
Her
yeah, yeah.
eyes will go in the back of her head if she's like at the store, and she will channel that shit. I believe
So,
she is a true medium, but she
well, you're not talking about the
glamorizes
lady
it
from the medium. Never mind. My bad. My
with the
bad.
hair, with the Teresa Caputo, the Long Island medium with the hair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
She
yeah. Okay, her. I thought you were talking about
Yes.
the show, the medium. I'm slow
No,
tonight. Sorry.
she is a true medium, but she glamorizes it and profits from it so much that she sugarcoats it so much that 90% of her messages to these people are, "She's always with you. She's with you, and she's with her grandma. She wants you to know her passing was," you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
generalized
yeah,
messages.
yeah, 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 yeah. Like in the '90s, growing up at night before the
I'm
internet.
like, bro,
The
well, of
infomercials, that
course,
kind of shit.
that's a
Kenny
given.
Kenny Kingston and
She's
Kenny
always
Kingston
watching
and his
over
psychic
you,
friends.
you
But
know. She's there
yeah,
at your graduation. She was there when the
yeah,
baby was
yeah, yeah.
born. Well, no shit.
Oh, I
You
know.
know
You
what I'm
see all the
saying?
testimonials. Then you used to see one that go, I called my psychic and they said I was going to have a big phone bill. Then it flashes to him 2 months later. Boy, were they right? You know, that was kind of a
My
mockery of
only
it.
disclaimer is I
Shit
cannot
like
tell the
that.
future. I can only tell your fortune. But to play on
Yeah.
somebody's like sorrow, oh my God. And she's real, but she's gotten to the point where she's just generalized sugarcoats it, you know?
Well, yeah, you get it happens. It happens. It's not.
And
It's no
that's
judgment.
because
It
she's
happens.
famous.
It
I
happens.
get it. But these
Yeah, yeah.
people
I mean,
online,
good,
if they
good
do
for her.
group
Good for her.
mediumships,
Actually,
like
good
let's say in some random
for
medium
her.
group, right? And they're
Yeah, yeah.
like Lady Godiva goes live and there's 50 fucking viewers and she writes down, "Oh, I'm sensing somebody coming through. Catherine Kelly." You cannot do a mediumship over a fucking live because that is a one-on-one fucking personal ass visit, and to me that's nonsense. Of course, if you got 50 viewers, somebody's going to connect,
Yeah, but
and that's
they've
how they
learned to
get
work
you.
the hustle. What the fuck? I mean, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
3D
I
life.
don't agree, and I don't believe
They learn to work the
in
hustle.
live Facebook
Whatever. Good
medium
for
or
them.
TikTok mediumships. No, dropping cards, yes, but
Well, have you
mediumships.
noticed on TikTok, there's a lot of people that see these too. It'll say somebody with a name there's somebody with a middle name with
Yeah,
a
and oh, my
E as the
chest hurts.
second
Did they die
initial
of? Did they have
after you.
breathing problems? No, look, me, I get the deets ahead of time.
Yeah, yeah,
I need to do my numerology, my astrology. I need to know how many days it was between the day
yeah, yeah.
they
Let's
died,
get
what
to
day
the
of the week
point.
they died, what sign they are. I need to know their face. I need to look at their eyes and see if I connect with them. I need to know, their deets, and then okay, after I get all their deets, I will go ahead and meditate and ask Archangel Michael. I'll be like, "Yo, dog, is he available?" And they'll tell me if he's available, and then we go from there. And like I said, the first 15 to 20 minutes is them telling the living loved one the business about, like, this is what you don't know about me and this is what it is.
Yeah.
And then they're telling them about themselves. This is what you need to do in your
Oh,
future, in your life,
well,
you
check
know.
this out. Listen to this. Check this out. As far as Archangel Michael goes, this lady messaged me that was really worried about 2 weeks ago. She got this letter. First of all, it said, it said if you don't respond back to us in it was an email. If you don't respond back to us in 20 minutes, Archangel Michael says that he hates your guts and hopes you go to jail. I was just
Oh,
praying like Archangel, and I had to laugh. And she thought, "Oh, is this real?" And then she got
is she
another
a
one.
5-year old? Is this her first lifetime?
No, yeah, I thought she then got another message from it said from Dick Drixler of the FBI that if she didn't get a hold of them and fucking these other dudes in 20 minutes, the FBI was coming after her. If
Well,
she
those
didn't
people
get
are
them. Now, that's
hopeless
what I
muggles.
had to explain to her how the FBI works. It wouldn't work that way. They wouldn't tell you one,
But it
two. I
don't
mean,
matter how much you explain to them. If
they
they
told
fall
her
for
the
that shit, they're
name.
fucking, dude.
They
Them are
do.
some.
I told her, I said, lady, look, the name that they even used, it was Dick Drixler or something. I said, dude, if you went to work for the FBI, like for real, and for real
Do
had
you
that
think
name,
archangels have the
they'd make
capacity to
you change
hate?
their fucking name. Dude, that sounds so fake. That name, did they
That's
make you
worse
change
than
your
using
name?
fucking Satan and hell and tithing and giving money to the church.
Um,
You think archangels can hate?
do you think they think you should go to jail? No, do you think, oh yeah, Archangel Michael hates your guts, but only if you don't call back
Those
and tell
people
him.
are doomed. I'm sorry, they're
Yeah,
doomed.
well, I could tell you that if we were on the phone, I could say, you know what, Archangel Michael hates your guts if you don't call me back in 20 minutes. Like if you're not
Well,
answering.
my ex that tried to kill me, his name was Michael, and I swore off Archangel Michael for a year, and my life was fucked up. The timing and everything
Yeah,
was because
yeah,
he's father
yeah.
time. And then once I started saying his name and praying to him again, my life started getting back in order. That is a real thing.
Yeah, I work with Metatron mostly. They're actually best friends. The real I've done shows on this. The real two people that are those two.
Yeah,
They're
Metatron's my
like
nigga.
lifelong best friends.
Metatron's
Yeah,
the one. Yeah, he's cool because he's like all,
yeah.
fucking with the symbols.
But anyway,
Well, Michael's the one that I contact because he's father time. He's the one that, I say it's like a jail visit, and he lets you
go
go
visit
and,
him.
he lets you come down. And I never get payment more than 48 hours in advance because if the soul comes
Uh,
here and stays here too long, they'll be able to feel negative feelings that they never felt when they passed. They might get
uh,
stuck. But I do it like 24 hours in advance so that they can travel the world and visit whoever they want to or go wherever they want to.
oh, wow.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean? Like, I can't just have you pay for a mediumship in 2 weeks because then once you pay for it, they come down, and then if they get stuck in this negative lower vibratory, they're stuck.
Uh-huh.
So I have to do it within 24 hours so they don't get bogged down with sadness or,
Interesting.
you know.
Okay, so I'm understanding now. Okay, interesting. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I channel a
And when
million
they
extra.
come visit me,
Whatever it is.
they're so used to the heavenly realm where it's all positivity. That's why he was like emphasizing the black magic. Yeah, do your witch thing, because he's like this gangster dude.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like,
Okay.
don't you fall into that negative shit. Stop it. You better
Oh,
stop. Don't be trying. I'm looking over my shoulder, and his mom and his girlfriend are like on the phone, because we have a video chat, and I'm like arguing with him over here, talking about, I'm like, we're not getting stuck in that shit. Don't worry, because he
well,
just, but he just like they don't cry. Like, I see
no.
them with my mind's eye, and like he was one of them that low key he wanted to be a white boy, but he had to like be a nigga. And he wanted to tell his mom and his girl, the girl that paid for it, my daughter's coworker, that he just his number one thing that they didn't know about him was that he low key like loved like punk rock music from the 90s. He loved Green Day, he loved Nirvana, he loved white
Okay, yeah,
grunge
the whole
music,
thing, right,
but he
right, Pearl
couldn't tell
Jam.
nobody
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
got to listen to Juice World, I got to listen to Lil Wayne, I'm a gangster.
Oh, fuck.
He's like, but my
I
soul's white
grew
boy.
up listening to
And
that shit
he
too,
said
but
he
it's
told her,
the
he
originals
told
were
his
better,
mom,
yeah.
he said,
The,
this is the
the,
song I
the
want you
rap
to
was
hear,
too
mom.
quiet,
He
you
goes,
know.
my favorite song growing up was the Thunder Rolls by Garth Brooks.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was big though too. I didn't like country, but I grew up in the early
He told
'90s,
his
and it was
mom that,
fucking
and
big.
she was just
Garth
like,
Brooks
that's
was
what my
fucking
dad
big
listened to. Da da da. So
crossover
like,
for a few years
so
back
he
around
wanted to let
'90s.
them know that like he was
Yeah,
he's sorry for, because they're not really that sorry. They don't have like they're not really like, I'm sorry for this. Sorry, they don't ever
yeah.
apologize. But
Well,
he
they
did
really
say
are
sorry.
in the most genuine sense there, because they're in an all-knowing,
Yeah,
all understanding
yeah,
place.
he wanted her to know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
he's
But it's
sorry
not
for
like a stuck in
falling
emotion
into
one.
peer pressure.
Yeah.
He's kind of sorry for letting his friends talk him into taking the pills, because he wasn't really about that. He wants them to stand up for
Mhm.
themselves, his little brothers, because he never did. He kind of got roped into, following, the gangsters or whatever.
Well,
And
of course, yeah.
you know what I mean, especially in my town,
Mhm.
but like
All too well, yeah.
um so he wanted to tell his mom to tell his little brother that, stand up for yourself and don't,
Uh-huh.
whatever, and like things like that, because he's like I'm a white boy trapped in a black dude's body, because the mom's mixed and the
Right.
dad is like native, and he was like, man, if I would have just hung out in Evansdale with them white boys, I said, yeah, you probably would have died, because them boys are rough, them rough
Oh
hillbilly
yeah,
boys.
dude, it don't matter where you go, man. I mean, it don't matter where you go, man. Yo, hell yeah, yeah, it
he
is. It's
said
just
too
like that.
he
Yeah.
said too he told the girl Maddie, she's white, and he was like, you get with another dude, he better be a blue collar white boy, because you don't want to mess around with no dumbass worthless ass nigga. That's what he said to me. And
Yeah.
I said,
Um,
and he said, not that he was, but he looked at her, and
no,
he
I get
looked
what
at
he
his
meant. I get
mom.
what he meant. Okay, at first I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, okay, I get how he
well
meant it. Okay.
well that's how he meant it, because that's
Yeah,
her
yeah,
type.
yeah.
And he said if if he could have the powers, he would come back right now. He goes, I'd come back in a cowboy hat and some cowboy boots, and we could boot, scoot, and boogie all all
Oh, that's
all, all the
cute.
way
Yeah,
down to
that's sweet. That's
Oklahoma.
sweet. Yeah, that's sweet. Actually, that is sweet. That's pretty sweet, really. When you think about it.
Because the girl Maddie,
A little
like
comfort level.
them white girls in my town, how they like
Yeah.
just they're, oh my goodness, good Lord have mercy. But yeah, so basically it was different. The last mediumship I did was a couple of years ago, and it was a mom and his son, but I didn't know the
Uh-huh.
mom was going to be included, and she had a
Uh-huh.
miscarriage, and he brought a 5-year-old girl with him.
Yeah.
So I had to get a hold of his mom. Luckily, I looked at mutual friends and my old supervisor. I was like, who is this? And he's like, that's my sister. I said, get her on the phone. She paid a little bit of money, and she got in on the call because he wanted her included. He wanted to show her that he had her daughter or his little sister with him.
Uh-huh.
And so that little girl was there, and she didn't know if it was a
Wow.
boy or a girl. And then he wanted her to take custody of the little brother's kid, because they're
Mhm.
in a bad household right now. So that he focused mainly on the mom. I felt bad for his ex-girlfriend, because he was mainly doing it for his mom. Because yeah, I told her she needs to go to the doctor. He wouldn't give me details, and she's like, oh shit, because sometimes we don't get details. I said, you know what he's talking about.
I got you. I can
And
see that. I could totally see that before I could see it straight up. I see that. I got you. Yeah, totally. It's like
yeah,
that.
and
Family too.
sometimes they'll be specific. The homie that I did one time, he was like, yo, like he wanted to, he was a drug dealer, so he was like
Mhm.
trying to sell me drugs, and he was like this gangster dude, and he was like, "Yo, I'm about to go to the club. Can I go to the club?" I said, "No,
I
once
think
you're
I bet homeboys like that. Yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah, like
yeah. Right.
once you're dude, I gave you 24 hours. You can go wherever, but once you're in
Yeah,
the mediumship, you can't leave the mediumship to go find some bitches.
yeah, yeah. Right. Well,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? You
I
can't
was
go
going to
to
find
you can't do
something
that.
too,
And
but
you're not Oda May, you can't inhibit a body like that.
Mhm.
That's no, 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 you can't do that. You know what I'm saying though? Like he's like, God
Totally.
damn it, I'm
That's
here.
what you
He's
want.
here in spirit, but you can't inhabit a body just so you can go to the club and try to fuck some bitch because you're on Earth now and you miss that.
You know, I've heard it all. I know. I don't even get me started on that. Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
that's what a couple of them would do, and I'd be like, I'd have to cut it short, and I'd be like, "Yo, your uncle's on one." He's like, "Yep, that's my uncle trying to find some
Yeah,
cocaine and some putas."
most of the America, it's the American way.
Yeah, and we had to cut it short because he wanted to.
Yeah,
Like, I was like, "You really, your niece isn't important enough to finish this mediumship. You much rather think you're on Earth right now, so you can want to go to the club and go find some drugs." She was like, "Well, that's him anyway. It's okay. Bye, motherfucker." And then the mediumship was over, and it was just like, "What the fuck?"
damn, dude, that's one for the ages. Yeah, right, right, right.
Yeah, that's forbidden. That's forbidden. And then also in
Yeah.
heaven, the different levels, if they're available. What
Is
I've
there real
learned,
estate
my
up there?
mom
I saw
told,
a pastor trying to sell real estate to heaven one time. Really, I shit you
well,
not. It was in the 80s
my mom
sometime. I think.
said, you'll
Yeah.
be surprised who's there and who's not. And you can't get into the concert. The faint, like there's a rabbit running up to me right now. You can't get in, like she said the concerts up there are amazing, but it's not just like you can't just go hang out with Jimi Hendrix or fucking whatever. They're
Yeah,
still
no, it ain't
separated.
like that either. Your souls are all more blended in a oneness. You are, but you're not. You're already in any kind of energy you'd want to feel and be in.
Right.
It's like
She said,
it's
but they
different
have them. They
frequencies.
have them, and you can go to
Oh, I'm
these
sure too.
concerts.
That too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you know, you would, yeah, whatever. And
Right.
yeah, in a second of a limb, you could do it if you wanted. So yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
And my mom still thinks she's smoking up there. And
Oh well,
she
good.
said they had rainbow weed, and she got a house with the water
Smoking
park
then,
in
yeah.
the backyard and whatever,
I
whatnot,
don't
because
doubt it, but no, it is true. And the pod is indigenous to the Pleiades, and before that, Andromeda. It's my understanding. Well, I know it's been channeled to me through the Pleiades. The Pleiadians have told me this, and somebody I know who channels Andromeda said, "Yeah, well, they said they had it too." And I figured,
well,
well,
my
it's
mom
probably
was a straight
Andromeda,
stoner.
but
But
the life is more colorful in those higher dimensional planets, right? So there's still
right.
kind of like a body type
Well,
before you get
she
in the
was
eighth
a
dimension.
muggle. She didn't believe in the shit when she was alive. She
I'm sure
did,
the
but she
pot, like
didn't.
again, I'm sure the pot is rainbow. I'm sure the pot could talk to you there.
My
And
mom wasn't
it's been
religious.
like a few months.
She was more like she would do drugs and she would like paint her nails 50 times or do crosswords.
I've seen it before. Like we
I
got
would tell her some shit and she'd be like, "Will you get out of your goddamn past life?" You know, she'd talk shit, but then sometimes
uh,
she'd be up and she'd be like, "Do you hear the ghost?" Da, 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 but when
right.
she passed on
That's the
all
kind
her
of people
shit.
you don't want doing it on or doing it with. Not that I would
And
know,
my
but
girl Anne Marie is my mom's medium, and my mom has a lot of regret. My mom's
yeah, yeah,
always
yeah,
says sorry that she didn't do this and she didn't do that. She's the only one that I know that has been channeled that has so much regret, and I don't even fucking care. It's like, calm down, mom. Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
yeah. Well,
And
yeah,
I didn't know they could feel
yeah.
so much like negative feelings. That's why I don't have her
Yeah,
channel
that's
her
what
at
I'm
all.
saying. It's just a word. If you know what I'm talking about, fine. Fine if you don't, fine too. But yeah, yeah, that's why you don't want to do that kind of thing with somebody with that
Yeah,
consciousness
but
level.
the main
Those
thing, if you
shouldn't
have
you
a
shouldn't
loved
either.
one
But,
that's
I'm
passed
saying
on,
from what
it
I've
don't
heard,
matter
like
their religion. It don't matter what the fuck they believed
yeah,
in when they were alive. It's all if they were
yeah.
muggles,
I can't imagine that it would. I can't imagine for the life of me that it would. How
okay,
could it possibly?
let's say
Yeah, I
you
mean,
wanted to contact
if they
somebody
were
and they
just
weren't
all sitting
available.
up there and they're just like fuck. This is all they could come up with to do is ascended as they are. He was as
Yeah,
fuck
and
with
it's
it.
like, let's say you want to
Yeah,
contact
right.
Johnny, your uncle
Yeah,
Johnny.
we're so highly evolved, we can't even comprehend completely even.
Right. And people ask, well, why isn't he available? Well, Archangel Michael said that he's busy still trying to fucking he's still in the scanning room, or he's already been reincarnated into
Yeah, yeah,
another
yeah, yeah.
uterus.
There's a technical process to it, right? Right. It isn't just an instant
There's
waving of
been
a wand.
times where
People
I
think
said,
the world is
sorry,
straight
they're in
away.
somebody's belly.
Yeah, right, right. There's a process to all this shit, right? It's I was talking about
They're
the
already
the
reincarnated.
measure.
They're not
Yeah,
done yet, or they're busy. They're
yeah,
working for whoever, and they can't. And then sometimes they don't want to.
yeah, yep. I can see that. I bet, huh? I
And there's
bet.
been
I
a
bet it
couple
happens. I
times,
bet it
and I
happens all
and
the time.
That is the, and I tell them it's not that they don't want to, it's just that they're not yet. It's not
Right.
time. They're doing other things. Like I kind of just, kind of sugarcoat it a little bit because like what the fuck? My mom don't want to come see me because they show themselves in other ways.
Hmm.
And so
In
like they'll be
all
like if
kinds
they
of
can't
different
come
ways.
visit
So
me, then
you
you
can't,
know,
yeah, I
and
mean,
they
really,
say that's a demon. That's a demon. And there's
oh,
been
fuck,
things,
you, I don't
when
know.
I was
You're dealing with the
practicing.
wrong clientele.
Well,
Sounds
when
like you
I
got
was
the wrong
practicing
clientele.
tarot and
Jesus
mediumship,
Christ.
I would test myself just to see if I was
Oh,
right.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm like, did he
that's
like
right.
the color blue? Because I see and they'll be like, yes, and they'll validate it for me. But
Yeah.
now I get the energy and I tell them things that I'm confused sometimes,
Uh-huh.
and then I'll ask the people to clarify some things. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Because sometimes they come
Right.
through and they
Right.
tell, they don't tell me like their energy's there, their aura's there and everything, but they don't tell me details a lot when I'm not
Mhm.
when the person's supposed to know. And the main thing that people want in a mediumship, the one misconception is I want closure. Listen, guys, there's no such thing as closure. They're not gone. What you want is an understanding and you want to accept that they're all right and that way you can move on forward in your life. That's not closure because they are not gone. You don't want closure. You want, you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah,
want
I
the
think they're looking what they're really what they're really meaning, if they really realize this or not, is that they're wanting to kind of be able to forget about it as much as they can in this lifetime. And you can't blame them. It's hard, man.
and it's
Yeah.
harder to
So
do
yeah,
medium
yeah, I can
shit
understand.
deaths with
I understand.
overdoses. Like I would much rather
Yeah.
do Grandma Jones that died of a lengthy illness
Well, who the
at
fuck wouldn't? Yeah,
99.
I think that I love you, sister. I think that's a
But
good
that's
one.
easy, but that's boring. So, and now that I realize they choose me,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what does Grandma Jones have in common with me? What the fuck are we going to sit here and talk about with your granddaughter? They choose me, so they have to connect with me, and I have to
I you're stronger than I
like,
am.
and
Yeah.
it's fucked up. I do fucked up mediumships, like
I think
overdoses and drug shits and fucking all the crazy young shit. And it's usually dudes. Not many females come to me. It's mainly dudes,
well,
and they
that could
choose
be
me so that
considered.
I can relate to the person, so I can relate to them. And I
Yeah, oh,
used to
yeah,
think like,
that's
I
perfectly
gaslighted
played.
myself. Like, am I really channeling these people because they're wanting me to tell them stories about my life
Yeah,
so they can
yeah, yeah, yeah,
understand?
yeah. I know. I hear you. You were skeptic. You're all the, that's the good way to outlook on it when you have
Tell
this
them
kind of
what you know
intellectual
about this.
feeling.
Tell them what you know about the
Yeah,
levels of
you,
heaven.
you
And I'm
always
like,
keep an, yeah, be like, hey,
now I'm
yeah, you're
schooling
always
these people. I'm
discernment,
teaching
discernment.
these
It comes
people some
back to
things.
discernment. It really comes back to one word, discernment.
It's like
And now,
lessons. I'm all of a sudden, next thing you know, I'm wasting 10 minutes teaching them about the the
oh, I
the
bet.
the fucking halls of records and the halls of justice and this and that, where it sucks because 90% of people don't understand that. So I kind of
Uh-huh.
have to explain that, and it doesn't waste time, but it's like kind of veers off from the actual
When they
channeling,
want to
but
know
they
little
have to know.
details, right, right, and they mean well. I'm sure most of them do mean well when they
Oh
want to
yeah.
know if they left the quarter on the back of some fucking whatever that never got found. I don't know, whatever you were talking about earlier, but you know what I mean? Some mundane, trivial thing that I've
And
long since figured too, not even, really into that stuff,
they
what you're
tell me
into, but
what
that
they
they
tell me
don't, it's
what
not important. Yeah,
They
that
tell
shit's
me
not
what
important up
phylum
there.
they are, like what
Yeah.
phylum of angel they are, like what, a principality or a
Um,
seraphim or a cherub. They tell me what they are so I can tell these
really?
people. And
Okay,
he was a
cool.
seraphim. He's the green one, and he whispers in their ear and he comes through music.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, he liked to listen to Juice World. Didn't they all like to listen to Juice World? He wants he I said, "So this is what we're going to do." I got my other phone and I went to my FM radio app and I changed the channels 4 times and the songs that popped up were the messages he had for her.
Uh-huh.
And I said,
Very,
if
very good
you
for you.
if
That's
if
tricky.
somebody that dies instantly, it's hard to discuss. Like when you die, like me and my mom, when you die, you're gonna send dimes, okay. But if they
Mhm.
die instantly, I tell people whatever connection you had, like if there was inside jokes you had with like the yellow car or the nickel or the fucking this kind of water bottle or they work there, connections you had while you were living. It is them,
Mhm.
100%. Was it them? Yes, it was them, dumbass, because you felt it,
Mhm.
right? It was them. You looked down and you seen a fucking A&W root beer bottle and grandma worked at A&W. Yes, that was grandma.
Mhm.
They're there. Anytime you
That's
you
pretty
ask, they'll
undeniable.
be there.
That's
They're not
that's
there all the
great.
time and they cannot be with you when you're sinning.
Yeah.
They cannot protect you when you're sinning. When you're out there fucking doing some dumb shit, that is the only time that they can't save you because
When you're sinning,
they can't. It's out of their hands sometimes.
when they're sinning, is that what you
Like,
didn't use that?
yeah,
You
God won't
sound
let me see you.
different.
My uncle told me God won't let me see you when you're sinning. So if I'm out there doing some drugs late at night or fucking around, having unprotected sex or doing some
Holy
dumb shit,
cow.
I'm not gonna get protected because I knew what I was getting myself into. You know what I mean?
And those were kind of whoever you were dealing with at that time. That probably needed to be the case to be that way. I'm sure that you just didn't go in with that attitude and randomly say that to anybody. You know what I mean, yeah, back then, all I thought, man, with all that freedom, they just want to sit by me. That's what else to compare.
Or we call upon fucking
It's
Taigeti
insane.
or whoever. They'll be there. They'll be like, yo, what up? But they're not gonna
Insane.
just sit there and wait for you to talk to them. They got other shit to do.
There's all that shit to do, like in a higher dimensional enlightened place like that. There, yeah, that's. I'm sure that that's all they're going to want to do is just sit by God. I think
And
so. God, I
also, if I'm able to channel
they
somebody,
really
they're
want to sit
not
by me.
gonna
Anyway,
ever be reincarnated, or they're not going to.
yeah.
They're there. They're there for. They're not coming back to this earth because if they were to be reincarnated in the future, I wouldn't be able to channel them. Michael would be like, "Nope, sorry, they're over
Yeah,
there." And
yeah, that's above your pay grade. He's got that shit all figured out. But yeah, you ain't getting, he ain't promoting you that yet. I know.
she asked if
It
he
was
was
really
part
not.
of her
Yeah.
baby, part of her baby's soul. I said, "No, those are rainbow babies. Those are soul
If you were
transfers."
going to
That's
try to work out hustle though, Shanny, check this out. If you were going to try to work out, so you could say that fucking he comes back in the year 2000 in the 2070s and he does this or some bullshit or you know what I mean, or he's married into an
right,
Italian family or a Swiss
right.
Scandinavian.
Well, around every 100 years, like if you've been
Some
here,
bullshit, you know.
if yeah, the reincarnation thing it's a real thing. But I mean, you can choose when and how you want to come back,
Well, you're
and
a frequency of different soul fragmentations of yourself too. So who's to say that exact one would get this?
right.
It's so much more than we can think or
And
know.
me being a star seed, when I
Yeah.
when I had that bad trip, and my Lyran masters told me that all of my past lives were not, I did not live them.
Uh-huh.
They were all just there for, like, for the fucking notes or
Back
whatever.
in
And I'm like,
last
excuse me, but I did live them. I remember them. And they're like, yeah, but you didn't realize it until this life that it was all
yeah,
part
that's
of the
interesting.
whatever. And I'm like, but I did, because I've been here since the first fucking fall. I've been here since caveman days. I'm fucking done with the woods. Let's go.
Oh, really?
And I am convinced that after this lifetime, this coup de grace, this, whatever, I'm going to ascend in the Akashics and be a scribe and edit birth charts.
Well, good God, that's a lot. That's a great goal to have, sister.
Because that's what
Uh,
I do in real life. And my dream job is just
yeah,
edit shit in the library. I do
yeah.
quantum birth charts,
Yep, we'll
galactic birth
start the
charts, natal. I
university.
do it by hand. I mean,
Yeah,
and that's what I would do. And that way I don't got to come back here. And that's how I can still help people, because I can
yeah.
petition the council, for
You
them
feel
to.
like you're trying to get out of the Vietnam War by going to college. No, that's kind of funny though. But yeah, no,
Minor details in your chart can be altered.
yeah, you got to go to
But you
college
have
up
to
in.
be aware of it and summons me. Yep.
Yeah.
I will be a scribe like Moses. That's what I'm going to be. That's where I'm going. I want to go there, and I just want to chill there in the library and just fucking kick it and fucking just be there.
I wish you could have been on some show when you were younger where they asked kids what they were going to be or teenagers wanted to be, and you
I
gave
wanted
that
to be a
answer.
criminal
You
psychologist in the
gave
psych ward.
you gave that. I know, but if you gave that answer you just gave right there with the deadpan look in your eyes, that'd be cool, man. It'd be blow people away.
Well, I wanted to just be a researcher in a
Be a
library.
doctor, be a
I wanted to
scribe.
be a criminal psychologist as a kid. I wanted to work with crazy people and
Really?
find out. And I wanted to be a criminal psychologist. Then I realized the law was dumb. I wanted to be a fucking, a psychiatrist in the nut ward. And then I realized only 1% of people are actually cuckoo, that the
Oh, of course.
majority of
Well,
them
of
are
course.
due to
I mean,
other
really, of course. Of course.
circumstances. So I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck that. I've dealt
So
with that
real.
in real life. And so then
Yeah.
I'm a healer of the soul. I don't give you pills. I find ways to heal, because your problems. You come to
Yeah.
me, whether I
Yeah.
do readings for you, whether I analyze you, if
You're not. You can't prescribe medication. Do you ever have to tell them that you can't prescribe medication to
no,
them?
just marijuana. We can smoke together. But
I
if we
feel
don't
like,
do
yeah.
past life, if we
No.
don't do regression, deep hypnosis, shamanic journeys, and go to buried spots that you buried as a kid because it was traumatizing. If you don't remember it, how can you rise it up to heal it?
Right.
And so, whether you need a reading or you need to just smoke a doobie with me, I'll help you. And
Wow, that's why they public service number.
Parents, that's all it comes
You could
from.
cut a commercial saying that. You could cut a commercial for like what you do
And
saying
you
that.
need to be part of the solution,
You
not
need
the problem. Oh my God. You know,
you need
my
a
baby daddy
volume.
told me he beat me because his mom beat his dad.
Yeah, right.
No, you beat me because you didn't have no drugs and you're a fucking Neanderthal and you're using because your mom beat what? My dad is an alcoholic and a perv. That means I'm not going to be because you choose your parents. My mom, she was a stoner, but we reconnected. You know, you choose your parents. You don't choose your kids to teach you lessons, and you be part of the solution. You have to break the generational traumas and the curses and things like that because of the
Yeah, yeah.
eras of people.
It's been coming along a little bit, but it's been a slow
And
process,
it's
right?
crazy how you're that chronological, like linear age, and you're of the Piscean age, but you're you're different. It's like you can't. You got to know when to pick your battles. You because, like I said, you can't
There's like
discuss
a blueprint
reincarnation
you
with
can
Sister
take on.
Montgomery,
Like,
90-year-old Sister Medea. You can't do it. It's like talking to
yeah.
a wall. Like I
Yeah,
could go talk.
yeah, yeah, it is really. That's a good way to put it. I certainly have beat my head against the wall over the years trying to figure that out. You
Yeah,
know.
and like I would love to go to any church and tell them the business and the truth, but ain't nobody ready for
Mhm.
that conversation.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Nobody's ready for that
yeah,
conversation about the true. And so, the
yeah.
people that are, and if they think, like I'm not here to prove that I'm right and wrong. I've had no bad believe me. And I don't
Are you
channel
thinking
like
about
you.
going
I
down
like
to the local? Are you thinking about going
and
down to
I
the local
I'm
church
in
and
my
doing
fifth year of my
that?
starseed journey, and like I really just thought that I was a reincarnated motherfucking. I had misconception views about karma. I thought because my past life I was an Italian stallion and I fucking
No,
fucked a
it's an
bunch of
energy.
bitches.
Karma is a pure
That's
energy.
why
It's
I'm
got nothing
poor and
to
I'm a
do with
single mom. No.
put it out. Yeah, karma is just an energy. It's just an energy. Say you
Yeah,
do
and I realized
you
that because
do
I
this,
learned on books. I
then
learned
you
on
get
old
good
Sylvia
thing.
Brown books and Gnosticism books. Like very,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
learned, like the hardcore principles like of old Gnosticism and the true are real. But a lot of
yeah,
the things that I thought I knew, I didn't know, and it was like, whoa, wait a minute. And
yeah. There's
honestly,
a
I
lot
don't
of
fall.
help if you
It's
do the
hard
research
because
too.
now that I know who I am, like where I'm from and who I am, it's different for me to like I don't have the same lessons as other people,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
harder, and I do, but I don't, and it's like I don't mean to seem
It's
like I'm
very
higher than
creative in
people, but
life.
I
It's
come from
very
a higher
creative
level
in
of
actually.
understanding.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
look at
yeah.
like
It's
at
very
the
creative.
psychological, like everything is a fucking test study for me. Everything's an observation. Everything is for note taking to me, and like I've gone
Yeah,
through the bullshit,
absolutely. Right,
and
right. I
and
hear
I've gotten
you.
over it like gotten over many trauma,
Yeah,
and it's like I don't mean to be an asshole, but people are
yeah.
so like they're so non-star seeds are so stuck on just like their mental issues and they make that their life, and it's like, bro,
Yeah.
why,
And it,
what the fuck, dude?
I don't know,
No,
man. I wish the switch could be flipped on quicker.
I
Yeah,
don't mean to be a bitch about it, but it's
it's
like,
a
yeah, you
process.
lost a baby, get the fuck over it. I've lost three.
We're definitely, yeah, it's
you
coming
know
along, but we're definitely taking the
And
long
I
way home.
can't be like
Super
that. What kind of
fast.
healer am I when I'm such an asshole? Like, why are you still crying about that stupid dude?
Yeah.
But I get it. I'm empathetic towards them. But if
Well,
you
it's all
don't
those
stop
enlightened
crying,
people you run into in Iowa. Is if are these local people that you're dealing with? Some of them, or is this on
everywhere around the world, all different races, and now that
everywhere?
I realize the different like star seeds or hybrids or muggles or you know what I mean, earthlings. Now that I know, I got to figure out what kind of person they are first before I can give them the advice.
Well, no shit. I mean,
Because
you got to do your homework, right? A doctor isn't going to go in and not know what the fuck he's looking at for it.
And
You know what I
and
mean?
and
There's
so
a
many
process
people say
to it, of
shit like
course.
my daughter's friends. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, this and that. Well, he does this and because his dad did this and now he's doing that and da da da. And my kids are very
I
progressive.
know they're
They're
seeing
different.
a,
They
an age
know.
dimension they need to be looking at. I mean, of
And
what
it's
they need.
like
Yeah.
and with the young kids these days and their
Yeah.
kids and their technology and their fucking give them their phone and
They're
you ever
pretty
hear
young.
Willy Wonka? Who
Yeah.
is to blame, the mother and the father?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Include
these
your
kids are
children.
really unique. Like, I got to stick up
In
for them.
I always had to babysit and I never made my kids be responsible. They all were always their voices were heard. They were always included. I always did stuff with them. You know what I'm saying? Like I just made sure that they were good people and they're good human beings
Yeah.
and they're not
Yeah.
Their parenting choices, they're fucking mean, but whatever. If I could, I'd take all my grandbabies and go live in the jungle, but that's neither
Yeah,
here
you got
nor
a
there.
ton of them. I ain't got any yet, man. How many? You got a
But
ton of them.
they're not my kids, they're not they're not out there shysty, they're good
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
They don't
right, right.
gossip,
I
and
know mine
they're
neither. Mine are
stoner,
too
couple
good.
are stoners, but they're not little assholes.
Yeah, yeah,
They might
yeah,
not
yeah,
be successful or whatever, but that's their opinion. That's in their, they're holding it down. My kids are holding it down, and they're good
yeah,
people,
yeah.
and they
Well,
try
that's
to
all
be,
you can ask for, man. Hey, I mean, that's all you can
and
ask
they're
for. That's
gangsters,
yep.
and they got to work on their shit.
No, I hear you. I know. I can understand. Well, that's good. Yeah,
Moms, Larry. It's the
huh?
moms who are deadbeat moms.
Well, sometimes there's a lot of
I
times that
see
it's
it.
the kid. Well, yeah, with real G's like that, of course it is like some wannabe. He could just be some spoiled kid, but
And
no,
they
it is
all
really,
blame it on the dad,
it's
and the dad that's not there, and this and that. And I
yeah,
notice a lot
yeah,
of
well, yeah,
females,
but it's how it goes. Yeah,
and I just can't. I don't know. I'm a very vulgar, mean drill sergeant type of female, but I never spoke to my kids disrespectfully. I never
yeah,
came at
yeah.
them sideways. I gave them their privacy because I respected their privacy. And in turn, they were always honest with me. My daughter said, I never got the thrill of sneaking out because you let us do what we want. Yeah, because you told me where you were at because I trust you.
Uh-huh.
And I wasn't really all there, and we had phones, so it's like, I was afraid that, because I was in California at 16 because my mom neglected me. I wasn't going to be like that with my kids. I was like, no, where are you at? Where are you going? What are you doing? If you're going to Jaquandis's basement, let me know.
Oh, my mom was the opposite. She didn't care. Plus, she was a junior probation officer. She
They
worked
would
a lot of
the
nights
boys
over
would
there
come.
too. Fuck, dude, we had it all
Yeah.
going on in my
The
place.
boys, when they were teenagers, the little kids,
Fuck,
their
dude.
friends would come spend the night, and my friends would
Yeah,
be
yeah,
like, you let
yeah,
them spend the night? You think they're in there having orgies? They respect me. They ain't got nowhere else to go. Leave them kids alone.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
in there smoking doobies and
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
listening to
fuck,
music and sleeping on the floor.
absolutely.
They know
Oh,
not to mess with
absolutely.
Shandy
Well,
Clear.
that's
She's crazy. They
yeah.
respected me.
I didn't have to, but my kids were the opposite of that. They were fucking too good. I don't know how it happened. Maybe that was one thing I get blessed with in life. But yeah, but I was that way when my mom was like that. My parents both worked nights. I was an only child, and fuck yeah, we did that in my house.
Dude, I had to watch all my mom's friends'
I'm
kids,
like,
them little ragamuffins. Like, what were you ladies doing sitting there taking bong hits and
yeah,
watching
yeah,
Lorenzo Lamas doing nothing with your life? Take care of your kids. I was so
yeah,
confused.
yeah, yeah, right, yeah.
So then I was like, I'm never going to smoke weed because if you smoke weed, you don't do nothing with your life. Well, then I moved to
It's
California,
true.
and
That's all it
here we
does.
are.
It's not going to
You know
kill
what
you.
I'm
It's
saying though? Because
it,
that was the
yeah,
perception. The fat ladies did nothing but take bong hits and play Scrabble and make me take care of their kids.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, what the fuck? What the hell? No. So my kids would be like, why did you always want to go on nature walks? Well, it's free. I can smoke blunts and it's fun.
Oh, wow, that's quite the statement.
They make fun of me now, but they still have
What
them
what
rocks.
food
They
what
still
food
have
would
them
ask for anything
leaves.
more than right, right, right. Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's different. I mean, they were raised old school hippie with my dad, so they got old values. They were introduced, they
Yeah,
didn't have the
right.
technology.
They were still allowed to be free spirits too at the
They know
same
all
time.
about
Yeah, yeah,
Gunsmoke
yeah.
and
They
fucking Beverly Hillbillies, and they know about old
yeah,
grandma
yeah.
shit. Yep, and they know about me and everything like that. And so,
Fuck
I
that
mean,
that
there's
shit was all old when I was younger, and I'm fucking, I'll be getting AARP here soon in 5 years.
my
Yeah,
oldest is be 27, and he's the only star seed that's
yeah,
out of my
mine's
four kids.
28.
He understands. Tyler understands. He's an Atlantean, but my other kids, they don't believe, but they do. You know what I mean? They'll give me props, but they'll tell I won't talk to them about my magic or anything. But they'll be like, they'll tell their friends like, oh yeah, and
Right,
whatever,
right,
whatever. But
yeah.
they never get readings. They never do any of that. None of my girls do. That no, they ain't got time. They're scared of that shit. They grew up in a Baptist church.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
but
fuck.
my daughter, I'll tell you, my
My
mom talks to
condolences.
dead people.
Oh,
Watch out.
yeah.
My mom will put a spell on you, but she ain't got time for that because she don't want to be tired. She ain't thinking about you.
What is
And
she? Do they go to a Baptist church? Is that what you said?
well,
Or
they
they
grew up
grew
in the black
up?
neighborhood and they got
Okay.
baptized at the Black Baptist
Yeah,
church.
yeah. Well, dude, I'd rather have it happen to be there than in a white one. I mean,
Yeah, that I like Sister Montgomery and them, but I never went there. But like my
yeah, no, no.
youngest never went to church. Tyler never did. He's like, well, we will not be. He's Buddhist, and so like they I think because they were just forced to listen to my
Oh,
fucking
yeah, I think it's
talk,
real
my
big.
woo
We
woo
have
talk.
listen, I talked about it on air at nauseum on other shows, but I've had buddies that, especially like my very best friend in the world, he would grew up in a house like that where it's real fucking strict Bible Belt
Well,
though.
let's
And
say like my youngest
I
son, his
understand
dad's a
that that's
mechanic.
real big in your ear, but I mean, I don't because I didn't have to. So maybe that's it. But I'm like, fuck, dude, fuck all
Well,
that.
yeah, my son's a mechanic. My baby daddy's a mechanic, so my youngest son is like, I don't give a fuck about. I don't want to go in the garage because he's been taught that and shown that his whole life, so he don't fool with it now. But my grandbabies, oh, they love Nani's magic. That they are all
Sure,
about it.
I'm sure, right? I've seen them. Now your grandson is already like, man,
Well, he
he's
used to
really
tell the monsters, "What do we tell the monsters? Go on, get." I said, "What do we tell the monsters?" You know what he told me? "Get the fuck out of here, bitch."
Who did?
My grandson tells the monsters now, "Get the fuck out of here, bitch."
Oh,
Fuck.
I bet he does, dude.
I said, "Because I
He
taught
does.
him
He
your
looks
words
like
are your
yeah,
weapons.
he's got a spiritualness about him. When I hear him talk, he's really a cool, hip kid. Aside from being like your grandson, he's a really hip, cool soul.
He's always
Yeah,
been that way too
I mean,
since he was like 9 months. He's got the X factor. He surely
yeah.
does. And he's like, "Do we tell people we're aliens, Nani?" I said, "If you want
Yeah.
to, we're magic." I know my Nani's
By
magic.
the time
Well,
he's a
when the car
teenager,
died, what about your magic, Nani? I said, "I can't fix the car, honey. I'm sorry, but your
yeah,
magic."
yeah,
And he'll tell
yeah.
people, "You better be nice because my Nani will put a spell on you."
Yeah, and he knows I mean, you can tell that he knows even, for what he can perceive at his young age, he knows.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah,
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 definitely. I cut his
totally.
umbilical cord.
Yeah.
And then my son's kids I'm not real that close to because I don't go over there a lot. But Riley, my daughter's daughter,
Mhm.
she's just starting. She knows where her third eye is. She knows, she's loves yo gabba gabba. She's talking a lot. She's Nani. Look at the moon. Look at this. She's getting there too.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But Diamante, he's something different. He's a G, but he's one to tell you what the fuck you looking at, but at the same time he'll pray at night and be like, I pray for my mom and my dad that or my dad that one day he will meet me, and I pray. He's very very spiritual, but he's very hardcore, and he's
Oh,
funny.
oh boy, I
Yep.
bet. It sounds
He's
like
he's
a
he's the oldest, so I mean,
yeah.
they keep having babies. I said, when they get older and old enough to have would conversate because me and Dito watch the sky. There's another spaceship, Nani. There's another one. He'll see them, and I
Oh,
show
yeah,
him the
I
videos,
was gonna
your
ask you if
videos.
he had any, I know he saw the orbs and dealt
He
with
said,
them, but
"How's
yeah,
that guy
really,
know your name, Nani?" When I play on your TikToks,
yeah.
how does that guy know Shandy Clear?
Oh,
How
yeah,
does
yeah,
he
yeah,
know
yeah.
your name? He's gonna talk
I'll have to
about
give him a
you.
shout out next time. Yeah, yeah, I'll give him a shout out.
I show him, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's Larry. He lives or whatever. Well, can we just go meet him or something?" And he's like, "I wish we could
Yeah,
teleport,
yeah, he's
Nani."
a cool dude. Yeah, yeah, he's cool. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he really is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we got to, and he can't be a statistic. His dad's a statistic, and he's not gonna be. His My
yeah,
daughter says, "Oh no, you're not gonna be no street nika."
yeah. He's
Yeah,
smart. He's really, really
he's a
hip and got a
cancer.
real
He's a
charisma
love.
about him too. I mean, seriously. I mean, I wouldn't if I was just bullshitting you to, make you feel good. I wouldn't go into that greater
And then
detail.
I made a reel the other day
He
with my
knows like
granddaughter, and the
he'll be
sun.
giving
Every time
me
she
the
turned around, the
advice.
sun changed color. And he goes,
Yeah.
"Nani, look, it's like that one time that I made the sun go bright because I'm a light." He said, "I'm a light bringer."
Oh fuck, dude. Well, yeah, he should start. He's ready now to start doing his own little 2 minute talk or whatever about what he's
I
thinking about.
know he wants to.
Oh,
He
yeah,
want
fuck.
he'll be
That would
like
be on
he'll
him
talk,
to get
but
that stuff tomorrow. Dude, I know. I'd be like, okay, hey kid.
he says random ass shit too. He'll be like, "Hey Nani, did you see that bird? It was a red bird. Those are angels, right?" Like everything I teach him, he absorbs it.
Yeah, dude, I'd film a little guy. I'd say, here, go have your parents sign this release so I can, get
This
your
he's
have
five
your talk on my,
5 years old, and his favorite song is "Simple Man."
kids on extraterrestrials. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
he's ready.
He said,
He's
"Nani, what
ready.
alien am I?" I said, "I don't know. We'll have to figure it out."
Yeah,
And
good answer. Sure.
"Yeah, he'll know." He's like, "Can we tell people?" I said, "If you want to tell people, yeah."
Wait till
So,
he knows the full story. So yeah, yeah, right. Or he can now. Yeah, let him figure those things out. Even if you knew like
well,
that.
he even said my daughter lost her baby. He's like, "But where did the baby go? Did the baby go back up to heaven, or did it go back to some random planet like where you're from?" I said,
Yeah.
I don't know where the baby went, but how, where did it go? I said, I don't know. I think
Oh
the
yeah.
alien with the blue skin and the green
He's
eyes
really
took the baby
good.
back. He said.
Yeah.
I said, well, then I guess they did. I mean,
Yeah,
you
he's
can't
just
make
trying
that
to
shit
piece it
up.
together in his mind too. Yeah, he's got a good inquisitive mind to finish it through. If he's got a thought that he's wondering how it's
Very
getting done,
detailed too.
and they just did it did, and yeah, right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
totally, man. Totally, totally,
Yeah.
totally, totally.
So we'll see. I'm gonna infiltrate all the
Yeah.
grandbabies. He's the oldest one, but yeah, he's been with me since the beginning. Like I basically raised him, but yeah, he's something different. He's a Blasian. He's you
Well, they
know
all are. I mean, they have been really the
as
kids that
black
you
as that
started
kid
getting going
is,
since the 90s, but every 10
dude.
years there's a big DNA upgrade.
As
And these
black
kids
as
are
he
really
is,
just,
he is
their DNA is just
Vietnamese
crazy.
and Irish all the way. People don't realize my kids are mixed with Vietnamese. They look Asian, but they are straight up little Irish bitches.
All right,
And
yeah.
Diamante's
Hey,
Vietnamese, black,
wow.
and me.
What a combination you got going on there. No, really? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's
So
funny how you
like
put
you think about that, and he may look like he's just some little black kid, but he's a little Asian fucking ginger.
Yeah, I do.
So
Oh,
he's
he's
got
got a
the
nice
attitude.
kid.
He's got the
Your
attitude
older
of that.
grandson. Yeah, yeah, man. Got a lot of just a lot of charisma about him. Seriously. Yeah.
He surely
I
does.
don't
I thought,
shame
yeah,
me to say this, people. No,
and
he really does.
he's
Yeah.
one that'll tell you too. You can't coach him. He'll tell you the business. He'll be like, "What the fuck are you looking at,
Uh,
you ugly bitch?" I'm like, "Stop it." I'm
well,
sorry,
yeah, he,
Nani. I'm sorry,
uh,
Nani, but I can
he'll
say
work
bad
on it.
words
He's
in
funny.
songs.
Give him a pass. Yeah, a
And
couple
he can
times.
sing. Let me tell you, he loves Benson Boone, and he loves singing like
Yeah,
ballads and stuff.
right.
He loves his Simple Man. He
His
loves
mind is
singing.
cosmic and old. His soul is old and wiser, and you know what I mean.
Oh, for sure.
He's got an old ass fucking soul, a lot older than ours, actually. Seriously, the chances are.
Yeah, he's real
And
solid too. He's gonna be my little protege.
yeah. So that's about how. Yeah, I mean, he's. Well, let's put it this way: he'd have to completely like all of a sudden just not like any of this shit. But whatever he did like, I'm telling you, he's got the charisma too. So whatever he was into, he could, he's a
Dude,
known person for
he will
talking about
sing
that.
like these
He's got
beautiful things that I've got, please. And then he'll sing
a
this
great
other song. In the
situation.
strip club, this motherfucker did it. He said, I can't
Yeah,
get in trouble for saying bad words because I didn't write the song, Nani. I'm just singing it.
yeah, I bet it's funny.
He logicizes things, and I
I
can't
would
even be
encourage
mad
it.
at him because he makes sense.
Yeah,
But
right.
he
I
don't get
bet
in
the way
trouble
he
at
puts it
school.
too is, yeah, it's as
He's in
well as
kindergarten and
intellectual
he
as you
don't get in
can.
trouble, but the kids think that he's, in fifth, fourth or fifth grade because he's so smart and he's so
Yeah,
big.
is he really only in kindergarten? I mean, yeah,
Yeah, he's only 5.
he's got a big presence about him, and a lot of it's his personality too.
Ever since he was a baby, he could talk as a baby. Everybody thought he was older. And so like people got to understand like he's still, he still throws fits and is still got the kid in him, but he's just, perceived as, as an older kid like that. So it's
yeah,
kind of hard because a
I
lot of
understand.
people treat him like he's older, but they got to remember he's still only 5.
Yeah,
He said, I want to go
yeah,
to the
that kind
concert
of
with
goes
you,
with
Nani.
it
We'll
sometimes.
pretend I'm 13. Okay.
But yeah, right. He's like looking upward. He's all fuck, man. I'm ready to start rolling. He'll be wanting to drive in a couple.
I said, what do you want to be when you grow up? He's like, how am I supposed to answer that? I'm not even grown up yet, Nani.
That's a great answer. That's a great. I mean, how could you possibly answer that question any better?
He said, I know
It's
what I don't want to be. I don't want
yeah,
to be a deadbeat dad like my dad. And I don't want to be a dumb teacher.
yeah, he is, and he's figuring it out, man.
Oh, for
Real
sure.
quick.
He's an only child,
Me
though.
too, me too. That's maybe why I could have that connection with him. Yeah, I am too.
My daughters and
Yeah,
I had no more fucking.
yeah.
Has 17 kids.
Oh yeah, my parents don't. I'm their only one too. That yeah, really
And he's never
17
met
kids.
my grandson.
They're
And he's the
Mormon.
only
No.
boy. Yep. And
Is
so,
he
I mean,
Mormon? Is he from a nice Mormon? Is he from a nice Mormon family? This guy that has 17 kids. I mean, I'm no
no,
judge. I'm just curious.
he's a hardcore gangster rapper from
Oh,
Minnesota that, is
oh,
a G dog. He
oh.
smacks, he does coke off bitches' asses and he's a hardcore gangster.
Yeah. Okay, well, everybody's got to have a
You
hustle.
know, you know how it be, what it do, what
Yeah,
it be, what it do.
yeah.
Stupid.
Mhm.
He tried to get my daughter for child support. You never met your child.
Yeah,
Weird shit. But it's okay.
really.
I told Sophia it's okay. I was a single mom. I said, you know, I wish I had your guys' dad, but he was in California, whatever. And Dito's like, I don't need I got uncles, Nani. I got uncles and my great
Yeah,
uncle. I don't,
yeah,
you
man,
know.
he's got a great attitude. Yeah,
My
yeah,
mom
yeah,
will whoop your ass just like a man would.
yeah.
I mean, and he can fight. And like he can
Well, I
like
don't
his
doubt it
punch.
either. I bet I bet he can.
He's
I
in
bet
boxing.
he looks like it. He's got these forearms and shit. I mean, he looks like he can. He's a smart intellectual. You ought to like get his personality out there more. I wonder if his mom would be willing to sign him over as I'd be his agent already. I could get a quick jump on it and he'll beat anybody to the punch.
She does it. She rarely posts him because of his baby daddy and their stupid
Yeah,
ghetto
yeah,
family.
okay, I can understand that too. But when he's
Because
older,
they want to talk shit and she just don't want them to even see him.
no, I
But
understand.
I post
Yeah,
I
no, I
post
didn't know that
reels
was
with them
going
because
on.
they're not my friends. But she don't like him out there like that. Like
No, I
he
don't
already
blame
have a
him. And
YouTube
he's
channel.
young anyway. But when he's older, he's got quite the personality. When he's shit, when he is in a teenager, getting towards adulthood.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll by the time he's like in
I'm
fourth or
sure
fifth
way
grade.
before then, actually, probably sooner than we think, even. But who
Yeah,
knows?
probably. And it's like
Yeah,
I'm the only one that can calm him down, and I got the magic touch with him, and I did readings with me and him, and he's got Nibiruvian in him
yeah.
from Nibiru. He's got Nibiruvian in him, and he's got a lot of Draconian in him,
Oh, wow.
and he's got a lot of Orion in him.
I don't get the lot of draconian vibe. Okay, he must not.
I
Then
know.
he doesn't sound like he only takes what little good from maybe something like that. No offense against draconians.
Right, right, right.
But he doesn't seem he chooses not to
He has
use
the
part of
positive
it. Yeah,
aspects of those. You know what I
yeah, you're
mean?
right, you're right. And the
He
others are
loves
so
his
possible,
dragons.
right?
He loves dragons. He loves
Yes,
like How to
sure.
Train Your Dragon, the Chinese movies with dragons. He wants a dragon.
Well,
Like
those
those,
come
that's
from
his favorite
the
animal.
star systems too. Like Pleiades and Sirius and
And I'm like,
Andromeda.
at first I thought it's because he was Vietnamese, but no, I know now it's because he remembers the dragons. He's like, I remember the dragons, and they were by the mountains in the sea, by the water, because we watched Raya and the
Yeah.
Last Dragon. He's
Well,
like,
they
I
give
was
off a
there.
different colored
I know
frequency.
that.
There's
Like,
different ones from different planets, and they give off a
yeah,
different frequency
I
as
show
to what
him real.
their color. Well, that's what colors they are. That's why they're perceived as different colors. Like you get the rainbow ones, the different colored dragons. It's their frequency they're emitting, just like those beings that I channel, the blue frequencies. It's their frequency emanates them as that color, right? So when you think of these dragons and that are different colors from different star systems, and their combination, therefore, the different colors that they have with some of them, right? It's their energies that they're emitting, like pink or blue. It's kind of a universal language, that frequency. Yeah. Did you drop? I think Shandy Claire left the room, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I think she got abducted. They abducted her. Well, it's been a long night, so I think I'm going to wrap up. We were just coming on here to talk and test something out anyway. And yeah, she dropped. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is Rockin' Larry Lockin', and I want everybody to have a really good, pleasant night out there. I was going to ask Shandy about one thing though, and I don't probably nobody out there knows about this, but or has heard of this story, but there was a lady in 1974 that was doing a television newscast in Florida, and it's so funny because I don't like thinking of negative shit like this, but I had like visions of this happening when I was a little boy, and it had already happened because I was born in '75. But I didn't know it till years later that this had actually happened. But I was having the visions of a woman that was doing the newscast, and just out of nowhere, she pulled out a gun and blew her head off on live
My
TV. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess
my
we'll have to
phone
wait.
died.
Yeah, but it's
Hey,
really weird. But Shandy, yeah, I was just going into yeah, that this person that I remember I was joking with you that night that I thought about asking you to channel this person for me that well, there's been a couple movies about it. That chick that lady that blew her head off at the news desk on the Florida TV news in the early '70s. She just and there was some weird shit with her, but they never could put their finger on it. but they've made two movies showing it. And there's debate whether the real footage exists. Some people say that the lawyers have it. The wife's lawyers have it. That this guy who owned the station, it's to never be released. I don't know. And they've made fakes of it. And but yeah, the girl just and I was thinking about it before I even knew it happened. I didn't know about it till I was probably later on in my late teens, but I've been thinking about it since I was a little boy. Some girl doing this and never asked about it. But it had already happened. I just had never heard it anywhere that it had. Her name was Christine Chubbuck, and they made a couple movies about her. Yeah, and it's really the one movie does a really good job of showing what it actually would have. The build up to it, it doesn't really show her blow her head off, but the build up is crazy. Oh, this lady, this news anchor at a Florida news station in the early 70s, in 1974, was doing news. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, this lady blew her head off while reporting the news, and for lack of a better term, in 1974 on a local Florida news station, like the afternoon news. It wasn't off to the big networks. It was when they do the local like news in the afternoon. You know how they do
Like
it.
on the air?
Yeah, on air, dude, on air. They made two movies about it, but I had thoughts of this before I knew that it happened, and it was one of those that really has just weirded me out my whole life.
Did you
That
see
I
it
thought about.
happen?
I never wanted to ask anybody. Yeah, well, I never wanted to ask anybody if it ever did because it's such a crazy thing to think about or say, right? And so that's I never thought I asked him, but then I found out it had happened. Of course, it happened a year before I was born. I never knew the story though. I'd never heard the story, and I had a photographic memory, so it's not like I just heard it and didn't
She's
realize it. But
probably
I mean,
tripping
I
out on
kept
some
thinking of it.
drugs.
Yeah, well, she started in on they were getting ready to cut to a commercial and they used tape reels back then and it was a little bit more difficult. She was trying to put it into play because she had a couple seconds before they went to the break and it
She was
jammed.
trying to prove a point to somebody.
So she had to talk. She had to talk until she starts talking some weird shit about men in their 20s are too into guns to get married and get with
She
women. I don't
had
know.
some shit going on probably, and
She
she
was
just didn't tell
28
that
and
shit.
she was 28 and single, and she just all of a sudden she says, "And to bring you a first on this news channel," it's like she was bringing some big scoop. "And to bring you a first in such and such news channel,
Then boom.
we're gonna have it." And then she blew her head off. And
Could you imagine it like putting together your birth chart with your spirit guide going, oh, well, how do I want to end? Okay, I want to be a news lady and I
yeah,
want to
yeah, yeah,
always
yeah. It's
like,
weird. Maybe I've seen
how
it
is that
somewhere
even
before,
allowed?
like in another realm. I don't know. I don't
No,
know, but
she was
I thought about
violating the
that.
rules.
And then there's another thing why I got you here. I want to ask you about. There's only one other thing that's ever done this to me in my life, and it's supposedly the Italians have it broadcast of it. I've seen it, but I won't listen to it. Okay, because I had this thought all the time too that this happened to somebody. But this is not confirmed by the Russians. A lot of people think it's a little wives' tale, but a lot of people think it's real. A female cosmonaut in the early 60s was in space in her spaceship or her little fucking piece of shit, Russian rocket she was in was failing or some bullshit. And she was scared and made this really hardcore distress call that's on tape. And the Russians deny it, that it never happened, but the Italians say that they have it. But I won't listen. I know where to go listen to a copy, but I won't listen to it. Just like I wouldn't watch that video of her
Why does
doing it.
it bother you when it does not
I
have
don't
nothing to
know.
do
I
with
don't
you?
know. I don't know. Those two issues, I've never had anything hit me like that
You
before.
want
And
because you're curious as to where she's at or where she went.
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not that type of person. That's the funny thing.
But
I'm
why
not
do
ready
you
to
think
person to look
it
at it.
plagues
I don't
you, and
know.
why do you think about it?
Why did I know about them, both of them, for years and never asked if that such situations exist? And I
Because it
found
has
out.
nothing to do with you. But why? You got to ask yourself,
You know,
why does it bother you?
oh, it doesn't really bother me.
Well, I
If I
mean,
said
why does it keep coming up in your head?
I
You know what
don't
I'm saying?
know. I don't know that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I
You
really
may
don't
have
know.
been,
Yeah,
you
I'm
may have
not.
had
Believe
past
me,
lives with these people.
yeah, I'm not. I'm not choosing to. Yeah, I'm not calling up and wishing, putting it on my wish list to the stars.
Right,
Yeah, no, I
right.
don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I can't. It's not like I can sit here and exaggerate and go, "Oh God, I can't shake it." It's not a feeling like that, but in a laughing, joking way. I can't shake the two cases. Yeah,
I'm sure the girl who shot herself on the news had some super serious personal problems going on, and she was
I
trying
took
to
a
prove
look at her
something to
every
somebody.
time. They
Like,
had
watch
okay. They
this
had
motherfucker. Ha ha, I got
Yeah,
you.
yeah, 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 I know too. And then I took a look at her. She was a nice looking lady, but I really took a look at her real picture. And then I wonder, because her parents, she never talked to anybody but her brother and her mom. She was a
Some
recluse, I
people are
guess, growing
chosen
up. And
ones in good
I'm
ways and bad
wondering,
ways.
and with what I thought for a second,
That's
well, I thought,
never happened after that,
I
right?
thought maybe she was a transgender or something. Now, her face looked, she was very,
I
it looked
guarantee that news
masculine.
station will check for guns before after that. They got a new gun rule.
Yeah,
She
she
just want
was,
to be the first person to do that, just like
I
somebody
don't
wants to be
know.
the only person to die this certain
All
way.
this
They're like,
stuff I'm
hey,
saying, all this stuff I'm saying is judgmental. What judgmental? It doesn't matter. There was just something. There's a million
infamous.
cases like that, but I'm sure there was something really just off about hers. And I was talking with actually the lady that contributes to the group a lot, Karen Sue Tamara, about it. She thought that maybe it sounded to her like, man, this girl lady could have been in one of those '70s, weird cults, or I thought that too. I'm like, but I don't know.
And that was her
Sometimes
only way she felt she could get out. She was
they
probably
don't
in a
know,
bad
dude. Yeah,
situation. But the fact
yeah,
that
but
she chose to do it on air is like,
nobody
you
knows
know how
that or
there's the
anything.
chosen ones, like for
Yeah, I don't
example,
know.
the one guy that got blown up in the house and that never happened in life again, and they're only known for that and that one
Yeah.
isolated incident.
Uh,
They're like infamous chosen ones, you know?
oh yeah, boy, that's really
Like,
taking one for the team. That's
yeah,
crazy.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
yeah.
back in those that girl, but the girl in space, I don't know. I my
Well, okay, so
intuition is
sometimes
telling
I got
me
to tell you one last thing about sometimes from the girl in space. When I've been in deep meditation, sometimes because I know, like I've been told that I was like a Pleiadian admiring space cap, whatever, a captain
yeah.
of a ship. But I'm
Yeah.
hearing like these faint female voices that I get this energy like we're crew members of mine. That I hear this captain, can you hear us? Like trying to get through to me. I know that's going to sound weird to people, and I'm not even
Cuz
like that.
they're trying to get probably cuz they're
Well, I
fucking
feel
in a
like
black
maybe
hole.
we did fallout. I mean, when we were here during the war between Atlantis and Lemuria as ambassadors,
Mhm.
try to
You
it
know
didn't
how
work
some
out.
people are
And we failed.
ghosts and they're stuck
And
in
I
between?
just wonder if she felt like like I lost some people. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm
Maybe.
still, I don't know. Probably. I'm sure it's something like that.
I never
I don't
thought
really.
about this, Larry, but
I
you
don't
know
really
how
want to know because I mean I know, but
well,
I
you
know.
know how
I just don't care.
ghosts are
But I
stuck
understand.
in between worlds, you know, and they're
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah,
That's probably
yeah.
what they are. They're stuck in
I don't
between
get that.
fucking
Maybe. Yeah.
realms.
Yeah, could be. I don't know. I don't
Same
really
concept as ghosts, but not
get
in
that.
this
But yeah,
earthly
yeah,
realm.
I hear what you're saying, what you're putting it. Yeah, yeah, could
You know
be.
what I'm
It's just
saying? They're like in between and they're
totally,
just
totally.
floating around and they don't know they're lost or they
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know they're
yeah,
not, you know, but in a different
yeah.
realm rather than a
Yeah,
ghost
it
right
ain't like
here
a
in someone's house.
fucking they're doing it because they were punished or
It's
anything or
ghosts don't know. There's no point. They're just not aware. It's just freak shit happens. It just happens, and they're kind of stuck
yeah,
in
you
between.
just get in between dimensions. You could even call it
Yeah, and
in
I don't
between
know
dimensions.
who can ever get them out, or if they can ever like get out of the
Sounds like
shipper
the
raft.
Hotel California song. Maybe that's what Hotel California is about. Is that
It might
you
be that
check
that
out, but
it
you can
might
never
be,
leave.
bruh.
Probably. Hey, girl, it's been a good talk. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about any? Oh, one thing. Hey, have you ever had premonitions of shit like a fire somewhere, or I don't know, some little small disaster that's happened? I'm not saying like a big,
All the time,
but
but I try not to. I
yeah.
try not to
Well, give me
entertain it.
something local without giving anything away. Have you ever had it about a fire somewhere? You don't have to say you had it over like a big.
No, but when my house caught on fire 2 days before that, I didn't know my daughters were going to be at the Genuine concert, and I had an orange dress on, and my daughter had a yellow. My other daughter had a red dress, and we took a picture, and we looked like flames.
Oh, really?
It was weird.
What in the
I,
picture?
I I know when things are gonna fall. I know when like there might be a car accident. I know when somebody's like little shits.
Right.
Um, but not to the point where it's like I've had prophetic dreams where they come true or whatever, you know. But I'm not
Uh-huh.
a prophet in that sense where I'm like, don't go to the doctor on Tuesday because
Oh, yeah, you're
a
right,
tree
right.
will
Yeah.
fall on your house, type shit. You know what I mean?
And there are
Thank
people
God.
that are, but they don't quite put it that way either. They'll let you know that that's what they're getting through. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, they
My
realize
weird
how
gift
heavy
is
and good
like
information
I
is
know
going to be.
something's gonna spill, something's gonna
Yeah,
break. If
yeah.
I learned a long time ago, it takes a skilled person to know when to go out and when to stay home. Okay, if you go out and about, no matter where you live, if you like
Uh,
almost get in car accidents, if you see cops, if you feel like it's not good, go home because the close calls will eventually be an accident.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you're
I
even
heard,
walking
I
to the
heard
store
it
and you're
maybe
like,
they just
I
couldn't
don't
hear
like
it.
this vibe, go back home and
Yeah,
wait a few minutes.
Yeah.
because you got to know when to go, and when to go out in the wild, I call it, or when to stay home.
Yeah.
When
Well,
rush
yeah,
hour is,
yeah,
or when, like, oh my God, you almost get in an accident, or you see 50 cops, or you see somebody you don't like, and everything's all fucked up. Just go back home and try again.
yeah.
It's okay. And I
Unless
want
you,
to leave people
unless
with
you
this.
really want what you're out, unless you really want what you're out and about after, then you
Right,
get.
right now in life, you always have to do the footwork. Then we're in March in 2026, but don't think that just because you're not out there doing something that you're not doing more or less than what the situation requires in that day.
Yeah.
Some people think they're not progressing because they're not advancing or they're not leveling up or
Right.
whatever. The work in the shadow and in the dark and the notes you take and the thoughts you formulate, even if you don't leave your room, are important. You can only take care of what you can do today, because a lot of people think
Beautiful.
they should be more advanced than what they are, but like they're not getting anywhere. I get that a lot, and I'm like,
Hmm.
you're on your own timeline, and don't be don't have, like, I got to do this by this by this by this by this. Do it. Some people are battling with things. As long as if you take a shower, or you even fucking do dishes,
Yeah, I mean,
or
it's
you
one
make a
thing to do it in
list,
your career or
that's
whatever, but
okay.
if you're putting that on yourself, yeah, dude, a lot of
Yeah,
people
you're
put it
your
on
only
themselves.
competition, and
Um,
don't give yourself unrealistic timelines, because time isn't real, and every day will take care of itself. Don't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow ain't happened yet. That's the
yeah,
number
yes,
one
and
thing, man. Worrying about shit that
yesterday's
ain't
gone.
happened, and then replay what happened in the past.
Few
Like, why you
Fleetwood
bring
Mac.
coulda,
Yesterday's
shoulda,
gone.
woulda,
Yeah,
but guess what? You didn't. So get over it, and think about now. That's like my
uh,
main advice to people. And it sounds
get
harsh and
over
it
it.
sounds mean,
Right.
but if you could have, you would have. And if you should have, you would have, but you didn't. So don't dwell on what didn't happen yesterday, because guess what? Yesterday's
Yeah,
gone.
yeah,
I
yeah,
say
yeah,
today's yesterday's tomorrow. Is it
yeah.
that bad? And
Yeah,
in
yeah,
2 days,
yeah.
tomorrow will be yesterday. Don't even trip.
Boy,
Right.
fucking
Because you
Fleetwood
never
Mac.
know, dude. You could die right now, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Don't
You
stop
know,
thinking about tomorrow. Again,
not to
yesterday's gone.
plan for the
Or
future,
no,
but
they were trying to get you to start thinking. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Sorry, wrong
no, but
song.
at the same time, like, I learned working with dementia patients. I live my life in 3 hours.
Yeah, yeah,
For the
yeah.
next couple hours, just plan. Don't put too much on yourself, and don't let anybody else put burdens on you that you don't have to carry, because 9 times out of 10, you're carrying other people's burdens that's not even yours to carry, and it's fucking you up. You don't have to be responsible for, you know, other people's problems, no matter how sweet you are. A lot of people are doing that nowadays, I've noticed. And that's what the dude said in my mediumship. Don't be taking on this girl's problems and this girl's problems, just your own, and your own weight, because you can't carry the world on your back. You can, just stand up and lift it off, and only do you, and fuck everybody else.
Well, but
It's
you look at
selfish.
the from
Boundaries
yourself,
and beliefs. It's selfish.
you got.
There's a fine line between egotistical and selfishness. I mean, you got to be selfish, but, always go into everything with good intentions.
That's helping people. It's about who where your frequency goes with it, right?
For
Right. I
sure. If
mean,
you're
yeah,
intending to go
and I'll do it
shake
the
her
other way, but
ass,
it's going to be, they're going to get 4 words out of me if it's not really
and
what I want.
a
But
hundred percent of the time, people already know. I can't find a good. When people come to me for readings, they want more money and they want love. Well, if you're trying to find love in the hole in the wall, or you're trying to get money at fucking Burger King, you work harder and love yourself, and go other places to find love, not fucking clubs and fucking bars. That's the
yeah,
number one thing. If you just, don't search or whatever, they all want love and money. Well, then
you
apply
put
yourself more.
get back with people in your area. You don't need that kind of shit really anymore. Like, I mean,
No,
there was
and
a
it's
time
like,
that
what the
was the
fuck,
only
dude?
thing you could get. I mean, I'm not trying to judge. I mean, I never did personally like that kind of thing. But
From like an observation perspective, I always approach things like a psychologist, because I'm a fucking, everybody comes to me for advice,
mm-hmm.
and I may sound heartless, but it comes down to simple. It sounds cliche. Thoughts are things. The universe is a fucking waitress, and if you're clear on what you want, it will help. You will get it if it's for your highest good. Now, don't be asking for dumb shit and act like you don't know no better. And, oh, why did that
I
happen?
think that
Oh,
we
I
all
don't
know, but we all
know.
know, but we really don't. I don't know how many people fully realize this, that there's no, when you're dealing with the universe, right? There's no emotion behind it. It's just a loving all for what is. There's no fucking, it isn't like, okay, they're holding it against you that you ripped off 7-Eleven 5 nights in a row for a pack of fucking Skittles. Or I mean, I don't know. That's good. I don't know what that. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing about karma. It really is an emotion based.
And
Yeah. Don't you? What'd you say that just don't ask bad shit when don't ask stupid questions when bad shit happens? Is that what you said? Okay. The universe, yeah. Okay. The universe doesn't have that emotion for everybody. Yeah, they don't care what you do, but just yeah. I know sometimes I feel myself and I feel it's wrong, but maybe my growth is I feel like I get real irritated with some I'm more perturbed
I
with
just want to
people that
biff
just
people. I just want to
sympathetic than
smack
they're
them
real
upside the
assholes
head.
even. It seems like I'm more perturbed at people more than people that are dickheads about it that just don't. I'm more perturbed at people that don't.
And they know what they're
Yeah, yeah,
doing.
yeah. They don't get it. I'm like, dude, come on, man, get with the program. But I know, I should be more sympathetic because they don't get it versus the ones that are real dicks. But I don't know. I get even my
That's why,
food every day.
yeah, you got to be careful, man. Boundaries, surround yourself. The less people around you, the better. Because, man, dude, I say if you don't smoke with me, if you don't have sex with me, if you don't shit in my toilet, if you don't eat in my kitchen, I don't give a fuck about you. I don't care about your opinion about me. If you're not in my inner circle, in my inner family,
Yeah,
whatever, yeah, that's your life, dude. That's your path. You do what you want in your house. I don't
yeah,
give a shit. But like, if you're not in my inner circle, then you can do what you want. Don't judge me because I'm over here doing
yeah.
what I'm doing.
Don't let it bother. Yeah, yeah, yeah. People would be
And
guilty on it. So it's just what it is. It's
it
just
is what it is. And the
really.
world's a
It
fucked
is.
up place. And everybody knows
Well,
if they're evil or not. They
that's what
know.
you
What
said.
they say, the true measure of a man is what he does behind closed doors.
But what'd you say? The true judgment of a
The
man.
true measure of a man is what he does and how he acts behind closed doors when no one's watching.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant something else
That's
more.
why I tell people,
Yeah,
I don't care. I'm not fucking gossiping because everything I say about somebody, I will tell them to their face.
oh,
I'm
really?
just speaking truths. Like, I don't
You
care.
have even in mind right now.
But I have learned how to not just, I don't shut up because I'm scared. I shut up because it's pointless. Because if they already know as an adult what they're fucking doing, why waste my breath?
Exactly. So they irritate me really even less than somebody who just fucking doesn't get it. But I should be more understanding. I get it. It's just I don't know. I
It's when
can't
I want to be like the mom and just grab their hair and just knock some sense into them and be like, relate.
relax up. Yeah.
But I can't do that. We're not in the jungle.
No, no,
But
no,
like,
no.
as an adult, I've learned, bro. If you already know what the fuck you're doing wrong, why even give you advice? Because you already fucking know it. I'm not wasting my
Yeah,
breath
but at
because
the
you
same time,
already
why
know.
judge me either? Though I'd go along with that. At the same time, why judge? As long as, dude, as long as you're not a direct threat to fucking right away kill or hurt
Yeah,
anybody. I mean, yeah,
if you're
there's
not
no
putting children's lives in danger, do what you
yeah,
got to do. Drop your kids off at me if you want to do something. I'm always the safe haven for the babies.
oh yeah,
I
well,
won't be
yeah,
one to call the law. I won't be one to do that, but I will be one to smack some fucking dumbass parents into place because what the fuck?
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
and I can't control how people parent, but at the same time, I can only be, an influence on. Don't get me around your little kids. I'll tell your little kids about the truth about life, and they ain't. Yeah, you won't want Nani to babysit. I'll be like, you better stop eating them humans. Stop
sounds
eating them
on.
chicken nugget fingers. Watch out. Watch out. Be careful, because da da da. And they'll be like, what?
I
What?
would, with kids, I would just say, man, I would just, whatever they were. I would act like I was into whatever they were into, and just talk with them. Yeah, I don't know.
I just tell them, like, because I'm not human. They're like, what? You're not human? I love telling kids I'm not human. What are you? I said, I'm a hybrid. Oh,
Yeah.
like on the not on the video game. They're like, oh, really? And then I show them like
Like, I
pictures, and
felt
if
they
they're
were like,
interested,
but yeah, I mean,
yeah,
okay, right there. They
yeah,
can't
I'm
help
an
it.
my earthly title's a witch bitch, but I'm not from here, so I love being able to do have both worlds, you know,
Right.
and I love being able that I perfected my channeling. And now I can go outside of this universe and channel if need be. you know. So who's to say I can't channel your Uncle John? People that are naysayers, I'm like, motherfucker, I can channel somebody on the outer realms. What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, have you ever channeled anybody famous? I don't do what you do, and I just channel ETs, but I have actually, and it was by
No, I
time
haven't,
before I started
I
Jim Morrison. I
um
channeled him twice, just real briefly. The interactions were just brief, but
the
other than
only
that, no, I do aliens.
they come to me, and one time Paul Walker came to me in my dreams and said that my mom
Yeah.
can't make him come and fuck me in my dreams, and that was about it.
Oh well, okay.
Because I
Well,
wanted him. But famous people know I don't think that's my job to do that. I'm not of that caliber,
yeah, right. Well, yeah,
right? And
exactly. It's just
I'm not in
weird.
that category. That's like held for like the higher ups. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
You know
Well,
what I'm
fuck all.
saying though?
Who cares? But at the end of the day, who cares anymore?
Because
I don't.
when they're famous chosen
Yeah,
ones, I think that's the way for imposters to come through. When it's like if you're trying to channel fucking Chris Cornell or fucking Tupac or something like that.
That's what I'm saying is I didn't try this. I ran across him twice in the etheric, and yeah, man. But yeah, I don't believe in that shit
There's a
either.
guy online, he's got that machine and he channels all the fucking famous people.
Oh, does he
He
really?
channels regular people too. Regular people too, but he has that machine where they talk. It's like a voice box or some shit.
Oh,
We don't need
yeah.
that.
Oh,
We
yeah,
don't need to hear the
yeah.
voices. I'm a true medium. You don't, of course, you want to hear their voice, then record them while they're alive. You know what your mom sounds like.
Well, yeah, whatever. That's what they think they
I
need.
think
But I
that's
mean,
a little
really,
extra to
because
me.
it doesn't really work like that either. If you're being more
Yeah, if you need a voice
cool
box
with
or
the
a ghost
situation.
box, then you're not really channeling, in my opinion, because I can do it telepathically.
Yeah. Unless you're
Because
using it
they're,
to
you know how
try
the
to.
negative have to do it in plain sight. They have to, like, if I go to someone's house and try to get the evil out, they'll come face me because they're fucking slow, because they have to out themselves and they want to challenge me. I'm like, oh, look at you, little demon, hey, you want to play? because they're
Uh-huh.
because they're like, oh, look at, because they're slow.
Oh boy,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And I love it. That, well, how do you
Oh
know? How will
boy.
you be able to get it out? Because when I walk in your house,
That's
they will come
sensitive.
and face me and be like,
Yeah.
hey, it's me. What are you going to do about it? Oh, this is what I'm going to do about it. And I'm melting.
You like getting evil on demons for a hobby? That sounds like a yeah. Well, man. Well, I'm glad they visit you, not me. Yeah, I mean, I'm not scared of them or anything, but it's, you can have them hang out. I think you dropped again, and I think we've been on here for like 5 hours. We probably should hang up. I'm staring at the moon outside here on the Oregon coast. I got some photos of it I took earlier. Some really cool clouds around the house. We got some real clouds, which just happen to be sculpted like beings and interdimensional things moving around inside of them. Yeah, but it was just all weather patterns and just how a fluke of nature and mixed together, right? Like somebody in denial could say, "Oh, that's just whatever, anything." Yeah, fill in the blank of anything that it could ever possibly happen in the world, except for it being interdimensional or extraterrestrial. Whatever. Fuck, man, put it down. Anyway, I don't quite know how to completely work with the TikTok thing yet. As far as I always have an issue wondering if I can invite people to talk, and so that's why I don't do more of them. But I guess I should figure it out. And YouTube, hi everybody on YouTube. Let's see, what did this guy write? Trading gold, Hydran, LP, good offers. I'm online. Okay, trading gold, Hydra. I wonder. I don't know what he means. Is he selling? Sounds like some good stuff though. But I don't think that's what he's selling. It sounds like I don't know, Bitcoin or something. I have no idea. But I have no idea. I apologize, my friend, if it's if it's the other thing. And somebody said they were a Christian vegan, just like Eden. Heaven is harmless. Yeah, well, that's true. Good points. Yeah, I can't argue with that. Yeah, I can't argue with that, bro. Well, yeah, I'm a vegetarian, but I'll tell you, I've been teetering on vegan for years now, and I'm sure my body eventually will take me there. Yeah. Well, yeah, let's see, am I still on? Yeah, okay, I'm still on YouTube. But I have no idea how long I've been on. I've been in a time warp. Yeah. when you get two Pleiadian souls, specific souls together, it does that. It's a little more balanced. If they got a little, for me, if they got a little other Arcturian in them, maybe, or whatever. Yeah. When her and I have done shows before together, because we both have this similar Pleiadian energy, which Pleiadian energy is great, but it can be, you know, a little all over the place sometimes, just a tad, not in a bad way, but it's just in a spazzy way. And so, but also like Pleiadian female souls, their energy is so strong, and they fuck up technology though. Like by walking by it, I mean, they'll be there just on it, and they have a habit, or at least the ones from the Blu-ray generation did. I don't know if the younger ones are probably a little more grounded with that, but I mean, they just by being around technology, the frequency mesh. I've seen it so many times, and it also, if it doesn't do that, I've done shows with a lot of Pleiadian female souls over the years, like three of them, real strong ones that I did numerous ones with. And oh fuck, man, they could sit near you. I mean, if I just bought a new stereo, I'm sorry, I might not have had them over that weekend. They could sit by shit almost, and it would just, it'd go haywire, and in the most weird ways too, in the most strange ways. Yeah, it's hard to describe. I know somebody said okay on there. Oh, they don't speak very good English on TikTok, hip hop, bip bop, and it don't stop. No, and it never does. Oh, well, I love the Pleiadians. I'm a total Pleiadian, so they said they can't say nothing but because they like the Pleiadians. Oh, no. Why do too? I'm one of them. But I'm saying our energy can be spazzy. Sometimes we're funny. We're like totally. It's really complicated. To describe people the best way I could put it, my aspect is Pleiadians are like souls are. They're in, they're out, they're up, they're down, they're introvert, they're extrovert, they're here, they're there. They never show up, but they stay all night. Yeah, they are, and all those things at one time, not like mood swinger, like it's a, you know, different personality type thing. They're like all that shit, like at the same time at once. And yet, what that is if you know one and you're not really in tune, there's like something your subconscious mind knows about them, picks up that is different, but you don't. You might not know completely. There's something off because it's so centered with all that shit. Yep, but it's just a little off kilter. Only it's only because of the fun density that they're in Earth. But yeah. So it's it, and that's that. I don't think she's coming back there in Iowa. She said it was pretty cold, 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Which I'm sorry, the rest of the world. If anybody's listening, I wish we used a Celsius scale. The rest of the world does. I don't know it. I got to admit, I'm not going to sit here and get on a high horse and say, "Oh, I think we really should have it because we should be universal with the other, you know, nations." But yeah, I don't know what it is in Celsius. What that would be. All I know is that 0 degrees for Celsius is 32 in Fahrenheit. Other than that, I couldn't tell you how it works. I've been told a million times. For some reason, I guess I just don't want to retain it. When I do anything else, and certainly would hearing something that many times, I don't know. But or using kilometers instead of miles in speed. I know that is about about a kilometer is about what we would call 3/4 of a mile. Yeah, about that. About a kilometer, say, and another quarter kilometer for anybody over in Europe would be one of our miles. Anyway, I'm glad I could give everybody that boring lesson about that kind of shit. I mean, I could tell you some really boring shit. Like I could tell you when the satellite TV first came out, right? How that came about. I'm talking the big ones that were like 10,000 in the 80s, the big dishes that people had in places where there was no access to cable TV yet at all. Of course, Wi-Fi was, you know, 20 years away, at least, in its most infinite form when the first ones came out, and they had them in the 80s. But yeah, and then of course all the channels were you got them from all over the world for nothing, even all the pay channels, and those companies didn't like it, and eventually they started scrambling signals on there. Then it just got easier to have one from home, but the ones from home are like a package. You get so many channels, and it's just a set amount offered. With those big satellites, you got like, I don't know, for instance, my aunt and uncle had one, but they had like 25, I think, different bands, and on each band you could go to and tune to. There were about 20 channels per se, could be up to 20 channels on each one of those, and a lot of them were, right? So, and you had to rotate the satellite around. My aunt and uncle had a automatic one that would do it, but a lot of times people would have to go out and crank them and turn them, right? But you get shit, and what it would do too is like when the news was going on and shit, it wouldn't cut away to commercial, or if it was the pregame of some sporting game, a lot of times it wouldn't cut away. You'd get the feed that didn't cut away to a commercial, right? And some kind of thing like that. So you could hear them talking, whatever, their date, they were on a date the night before or some shit, or did somebody, did they order the pizza they were supposed to, how's my hair look, really shit like that. Yeah. And it would, and that irritated those companies a little bit too, the news companies and the networks, and of course the cable companies got pissed because of, everybody was getting free HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, Movie Channel, that kind of shit. Which I don't know anything about them now. I'm sure they were, I've heard of them, but their names are intermingled and shit. But that was before the internet, so that was about it. All right, everybody, I'm out. Rockin' Larry Lockin'. Okay, goodbye, Facebook Live. Goodbye to TikTok. I love everybody on TikTok. Thank you for tuning into this deep enlightenment. Yeah, everybody will have to tune in to the new show on Sunday mornings. The Reverend Brother Pastor Larry, Deacon Larry Revival Hour. Oh yes, tune into the Revival Hour. I might not be up yet to do it, but you can be here and act like it was. All right. I'm out. Good night, TikTok. Good night, TikTok, hip hop. And good night to YouTube. Good night and pleasant dreams. Good. I could do like in La Bamba. Has anybody ever seen La Bamba before? Yeah, well, it was about Lou Diamond Phillips was in it, but he played Richie Valens, and before Richie got his big break, this cocky guy let him play guitar in his band and said, "Oh, maybe we'll let you sing." He never did let him sing. This guy sucked on the microphone. He's all, "Good night, my love, pleasant dreams," and yeah, he sounded like hell. It was funny. You would have had to see the movie. It's like 50 years old now, though. God, man, time flies. All right, we're out. If I can hit out, I always get a mental block. There, I can't remember the Celsius, the metric system, or how to exit out of the media. I'm in a time warp forever, perpetually with it. Maybe it's one of that's the big lesson I came here for, is to learn how to close out of shit.